by Sharon, Connecticut.
Shout out to Cornwall.
Sharon.
It's by Sherman, Connecticut. Does that help?
No, Richard Sherman, Connecticut.
I haven't heard of any of those.
How about New Milford?
Kyle,
Yeah,
Kyle,
How about Washington, Connecticut?
Kyle, New Milford's nowhere near Milford, and
I
it's
know.
not just outside of
Because
Brantford.
we were near Litchfield and I saw the sign.
Yeah,
I was gonna say it's like 15, 20 minutes away from Litchfield.
it's in Litchfield County.
Ooh. Hit him with the ooh.
This is probably-
Hit him with the ooh.
No, I'm really
That
glad.
reminded me of a better time when we used to hit him with the
I did that last week on the show.
I'm really glad he went right for the privacy.
Hit it with the
All right, you go ahead. You take some. sips.
toast of excellence. I don't want to steal anybody's. What?
I didn't do my
Oh
bit.
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Sorry, we got off topic. Go ahead. Mark the J-Mart?
The Gunner's Daughter Milk Stout from Mast Landing Brewing Company up in, I believe that would be Westbrook, Maine.
So
Right next to Westbrook Lobster.
I'm excited. Okay. The coolest name I've ever seen on a beer. I have Ninja versus Unicorn from Pipeworks Brewing in Chicago, Illinois. Best intro I've ever done. Holla.
Until you said holla. Go ahead.
Holla at your boy.
No, don't push that back. I'll
Listen,
do it
I
with
need
you.
to be awake for
Souls
this
is feeling himself from Shiner, Texas. Shiner, wicked juicy IPA.
the way that you said that
Wait,
means like
Shiner
it
makes
sounds
an
like he was
IPA?
feeling himself all the way in
Is
Texas.
that the same Shiner Bach?
Yep.
They make an IPA?
Yeah. It's like Yingling IPA.
Good for you.
Frack 'em, boys.
Good for you. No.
We gotta
do
Toast,
toast, we gotta
toast.
toast.
Jesus.
So I don't want to steal anybody's. I have a feeling the big one will be coming. I'm sure someone's doing it. Mine is to a gentleman that was overshadowed in some recent retirement news. Mine is to Jeremy Macklin calling it
Damn
quits. He announced it at his wife's baby shower in front of friends and family, and then like 15 minutes later, Gronk did it, and no one knew. I actually didn't know until about 4:30 today on my ride home from work.
Look at that Witch Report.
Nope, they said it. Jim Miller and Pat Kerwin, Moving Chains, SiriusXM Radio, Channel 88.
Subscribe now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the big one then. To Gronk, one of the greatest tight ends of all time, retiring.
We'll get into that. Almost like I said.
I'm going to have to give it up to your boy Mike Trout for signing the most absurd contract I've ever seen in my life.
Anyone's ever seen it in their life.
And I think that's
Well, except for
just
the tug job contract, of course.
Can you imagine what would have happened if he signed with another team? He would have broken $500 million.
Oh, well, that's what I'm thinking. Like, because he signed that, and we'll probably get into it more, but that just opens the door for the next guy up to make even more than that.
Now, everybody's signing their own guys right now.
Yeah, except for the Mets.
And the
No.
Pirates, they're not doing anything.
J-Mark, can you move your
This
mic a
really
little
opens up the
closer?
door for John Jay.
Of course,
That guy could get $400 a game.
for the Blues, Bridgeport. Go ahead, Souls.
Kyle was ready to yell at you for saying a hockey team. Go ahead, Kyle. Who's your toast?
My toast to Ichiro for his retirement
It's like the third time, though.
in Japan.
It's sad.
It is sad.
Kyle asked me last week if I wanted to wake up at 5 a.m. and watch the game with him. Neither of us did.
Jennifer,
I
his
thought about
Souls.
God, I know you've been playing NHL.
Baron?
I have.
As a big hater of the Golden State Warriors, I want to give it up to the Mavericks for giving them their biggest loss on Saturday.
Didn't have Steph.
I don't care. I can be biased about something, and I don't. See what the Mass was doing there.
Big Mark Cuban fan.
Yeah, I love his work on that television program,
Shark Tank?
Shark Tank. Good guy.
Speaking of contracts, I just got an update. Becky Lynch was offered a multi-year deal and a pay raise. She's making
Brazzers.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
black.com.
Uh-oh.
She calls herself the man. Let's see.
She's going fine. No, we're just going to move. Let's move.
All right,
past it.
Moving on.
Let's crack 'em. So we are also on Facebook and YouTube, so please share the link. Mike Mock is watching. Peter Pinto is watching. So someone was asking for you. Jennifer.
What?
Jennifer Bakken, I guess is how you pronounce it. And the question was, is that Souls? Just found this. And
Who?
yes.
Go on Facebook and find out.
Well, it
You
is.
guys know that he's in love already.
Souls is off the market.
Look at it. He's smiling.
Yeah.
Let me get a sip of beer in here to get
I
the
got it.
confidence.
All right.
Jen, you've got yourself a Souls right here.
It tastes like fruit punch.
All right. Not what I thought he was going to say in response to that. But nonetheless, is that Bobby Lashley? so he.
Imagine we started a show where we just commentated Raw.
And if you're watching at home,
You didn't have anything to follow that up with?
no, that's all I
All
got.
right, I'm gonna go ahead and take a sip here.
Yeah, yeah.
I already lost that pen. Oh,
We'll do our NFL trivia.
oh
trivia.
my!
Delicious.
All right, gentlemen,
Dude,
our
it's
NFL.
like a Reese's and a coffee.
Yeah.
It's like chalky cocoa.
Holy shit!
It's the greatest beer I've ever tasted.
wow.
All right, gentlemen. Mass, could you pick a number for me 1 through 9?
7.
All right. Ooh, he picked a good one. Today's NFL random player, Brandon Whedon. Brandon Whedon, a quarterback from
sorry.
Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, played his days at Oklahoma State University, drafted first round. He played a year with Cleveland, a year with Dallas, a year with Houston, a year with Tennessee, and a year with the Texans. Another year with the Texans. All right. He had 559 career completions at 57.9%. He threw for just over 6,400 yards with a passer rating of 76. In 34 games played, he threw 30 interceptions and how many touchdowns? How many career touchdowns did Brandon Whedon throw in 5 years? 6 years.
21.
14.
You read that wrong, you son of a bitch. Is what soul just found this?
No, she's asking for you specifically.
Because that's the name of the show today.
All right, Kyle. What's your answer? What's the question?
68.
You should have asked what the question was.
34.
Wow. Mass was pretty close. 31.
Damn.
I was right.
Nope. He's such a fat looking dude.
Yeah, he sucks.
It's just funny because
Brandon Whedon is the super old one.
no, but
right?
look at these pictures. I'm gonna slide to you. It doesn't look like they just photoshopped. Like, no, don't touch it. You know how like
That's what she said last
you know
night.
how they take like Antonio Brown. You know how they like took a picture of him like celebrating a touchdown and they just put him in a Raiders uniform.
Yeah.
Doesn't it look like he got like used to play for the Browns and then just signed with the Texans? They used the same picture. He's making the same face and everything. I wish there was a camera over here. I don't know if you'd see it, but
Nobody's looking.
It's like the
same picture.
Yeah, I'm just making sure I get the 5 stars down already after 2 sips.
Ooh, 5 stars.
Yeah.
You're a square, Benny.
No, this beer is incredible.
It is.
It is quite incredible.
All right, and, Mass.
Not a whole lot happened for Mass's monumentous moments.
Is that because you didn't do any research, or because nothing happened?
Because nothing happened.
Just ask him.
Mass, we gotta have you turn that mic back the other way.
Is it all right?
It's better when you have a flat facing.
Well, yours is the same way.
This is actually a different microphone.
Is it really?
It is.
Well, that's super annoying. Or are you special?
Yeah, for real.
I didn't buy the equipment. I'll see you at the break.
Shut up.
Souls, high five. All right, let's reel him back in.
All right.
There we are.
March 25th, 1982. Wayne Gretzky becomes the first NHL player to score 200 points in a season.
Guy was good.
Until Kyle Souls came along.
Guy was very good at his craft.
March 28th, in 1972,
Wayne Gretzky was the first guy. I'm just kidding.
Wilt Chamberlain played his last pro basketball game.
Ooh, Guy wouldn't have been good now.
You might have.
Maybe.
Do you know?
No, he probably would have.
Could you learn to know him?
He got with a lot of women.
So did Madge.
Hmm.
Imagine him and Dennis Rodman opening a brothel together.
You got a name for us?
Scores.
March
That was
29th.
good. That was good.
March 29th, 1994. Fuck, what's his name?
J.P. Losman.
Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson quits the Dallas Cowboys.
You know,
Opened up a real good sausage factory.
in my head, first thing that came to mind was the NASCAR driver.
What about
You like
what
Mountain
about
Dew,
March?
beef jerky?
What
boy.
about March 31st, 1994?
That too.
93.
I know you
I don't know why.
about-
Souls was born,
Boo.
and the 3 Cullens.
Funny.
You guys have the same birthday?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So,
Maybe you were supposed to be a quadruplet.
We are. Just they were born like half hour before me
That explains it. You got stuck.
in Florida.
You got stuck. Your face was stuck in the womb. They just kept pulling. Your nose got stuck, so it got bigger.
They were born in Florida.
And
though.
boom goes the dynamite.
Oh, so they were born in Florida, then they thought they were done, got on a plane, flew to Meriden in a half hour, and then you just went, "Ah," and then you fell in Bob's lap. His hand was in his pants. The rest is history.
That's right.
God bless. And that's
You should take that away from me
Yes.
because that's going to keep happening.
Yes, take it away.
and that is Masses Monumentous Moments.
Nothing happened on my birthday?
You were born. Isn't that
Yeah.
the best thing?
No. There's gotta be something cool to happen.
Shut up, Kyle. We're not there yet.
All right, just for you, I will go back and look through it again for you real quick.
It's like the most important day of the
What
month.
happened to the T-Rex?
In
Rex got drunk.
1877, Test cricket debut, the feared Australian fast bowler Fred the Demon
Souls?
Sporoff.
Souls. Fred the Demon Souls. I'd like to
that-
meet a Fred Souls.
That's gonna be a name for Souls. One of these shows.
I'll
Fred
name my
Souls.
kid.
Fred the Demon
Fred?
Souls.
You will?
Yeah.
All
Fuck
right.
it.
Short
No.
for Frederick?
It's not my name.
No, just got to be Fred.
Just Fred.
That's it.
Kyle?
Thanks, bro.
Well,
I would have been happy with
Jeff
nothing.
brought it up earlier, and I think we should talk about it. The Mike Trout contract.
Insane.
So
Teach your kids to play baseball, guys.
he's getting $426 million over 12 years.
So why is Kyler Murray not playing baseball?
Because
Because he's not going to be that good at either sport. Dun 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 dun.
He's getting paid
Souls. All right.
he's getting paid
Yeah, that fella shouldn't be in
$221,000.
the studio. Send it back this way. I need it.
Let me get rid of it.
What's the
for you.
contract?
12 years,
430 million?
426.
Oh, too many people.
12 for 426.
Can I have the bell?
No.
He's getting paid $221,000 a game.
I forget what it was. It was something stupid. Hold on. Mike Trout's.
I mean, personally,
What'd you say he's getting paid a game?
221,000.
And then, so if you
Right.
divide that by the average at bat per game, which I would say you take about 4 at bats a game, is that fair to say
Yeah.
average? Yeah, it's $55,000
Yeah.
every time he steps in the box
It was
My
something
goodness.
ridiculous.
for
like
12
that.
years. I mean, that's assuming he plays all 162 games. So really, he's going to be making like $87,000 every time he steps in the box.
But
If I'm the Angels, I'm really upset every time he strikes out. Every time.
is he worth it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let him work it.
He's the best player in baseball.
What'd
Put
you say?
his thing down,
He said work it.
flip it, and reverse it.
But he was loyal. He stayed with the team that drafted him. He did everything you want a person to do. Just how it is. Like everyone expected either him to stay with the Angels or go home. Nothing else. And he elected to stay.
Is there any part of you, because we've seen sort of these monster contracts as of late, we'll call it, and the Cano thing kind of fizzled out at the end. Do you think there's any possibility where Trout suffers a similar fate?
No,
No.
because he's doing it at a younger age. Pujols and Cano both got their contracts at 30.
Right, that's a good
And
point.
they also went to different. Cano went to Seattle, one of the biggest ballparks. So his home run numbers were going to drop anyways. Pujols might have been 35, but we don't know.
Yeah, no one really knows how old he is. His name is not Albert. His name is
Jose.
Jose. So, I
Yeah.
mean, this guy's just a den of lies, but he's a great guy.
Yeah.
But
He'll
like,
be on the Pirates someday.
but he's
they're actually having a bid.
What are they at? It's been
I'm-
years.
It's been years. I think they're at like 40,000 now.
Oh, they took a dip.
Yeah, see, it's
People withdrew their
they
money.
withdrew. That's what it was.
he's just one of those.
He's
guy
a
that's-
he's a once in a generation player. All right, he's Robinson Cano is nothing, even in his prime compared to Trout. Trout could do anything and everything. He could
I think
name
Trout,
a facet of baseball, and he's number one in it.
well, Trout,
bottom
like
line.
it's a mini version of the Gretzky argument. Like for me, like when people have the conversation about who's the GOAT across all sports, it's Wayne Gretzky, because Wayne Gretzky is the only person in all 4 major sports that is 100% referred to as the greatest player in their sport. The Michael Jordan, LeBron debate, and then all the other players that have been in it. All the different players for baseball. Hockey doesn't have that. It's Wayne Gretzky.
Right.
There's a lot of people right underneath him that can fight for second, but it's Gretzky. Mike Trout is the only player in all of professional sports right now that is, I think, across the board, hands down,
Oh, yeah.
the best in his field. pun intended.
Because you look at the people underneath him, and you'd probably say Bryce Harper, but he's got a lot of question marks. Mike Trout has zero.
I think Harper's, in my opinion, I think Harper's third or fourth. I haven't decided. I think it goes Trout, Arenado, and then Machado or Harper. I haven't really decided. I think I like Nolan Arenado a lot.
You put Machado over him.
What?
Betts is definitely.
I was just hoping to get some
top
clean-
3.
Some rise.
Mookie Betts.
Yeah.
Has that guy ever shoved the katana up his urethra? Because
Sorry,
Harper did
what?
that.
I'm sorry, what?
You know,
You guys got to watch more MLB Pornhub.
It's an exclusive channel.
It's $49 a year. They fucking pay for it.
You guys are leaving out Gregory Polanco
And Jose Molina, of
Well,
course.
keep in mind the Trout thing is only until Bartolo Colon signs a contract.
You're right.
Then they overpay.
Right.
Unless
But that's
remember
wrong.
Bartolo Colon signed a 12-year deal for like $480.
How old is he now?
45.
61.
60. Wow.
He was born the same year as your dad.
45.
He wasn't.
Is that correct?
He'll be 46 in May.
Wow.
Yeah, he's pretty much done.
No,
So
he's
do
not.
Whoa.
You
Come
think
on,
there's
man.
anybody? You think there's anybody in baseball in the next 5 years that can get a bit bigger contract?
Jamie
No.
Moyer Jr.
Do you think Vlad Guerrero Jr. could potentially get a bigger contract if he continues on the path? that he's on?
No,
I think Vlad Guerrero Jr. is just going to go to the next team. I don't think he's going to stay with the team.
that's not answering the question.
It is because Trout staying with the Angels, I think he got him more money than him going to a different team.
You think that different team wouldn't have paid him more? I think if he went to a different team, he would have broke 500.
It depends on who.
I agree.
Because the Phillies don't have the money for that. And if you wanted to go,
We're
to the
not
Phillies,
talking about the Phillies.
I'm just saying in
There
general.
is no other
always
team.
The fucking Phillies.
No, if it was linked, he was linked to the Phillies, and therefore I'm saying it.
He
wouldn't have got the
wasn't
money
linked
there.
to the Phillies.
Yes, he
Bryce
was.
Harper tried to recruit him, and that's the end of it.
Okay, but what other team would he have gone to? The Yankees
Any
wouldn't have
team
paid
with
the
money
Phillies.
to spend, who wouldn't want to pay a guy like Mike Trout?
Yankees wouldn't have done it.
Why not?
They have a lot of other people in the outfield that just.
But they
All right,
tried to
so-
get Machado.
That's fine. So you've
but
eliminated
two much shorter
you
than
eliminated one team out of how many?
I get that, but the
Would the
Reds aren't
Mets
going to go
spam?
after him. The Pirates aren't going to go after him.
Would the Mets?
Guys,
spam?
guys. The
Why not?
Cardinals would have signed him.
Would the Mets, the Cardinals, the Red Sox? There's a ton of teams that would have the room to do so in a few years.
Red Sox do not have the money.
Do you hear what I said?
In a
Said
few
in
years,
a
they
few
would not
years.
have the money.
Well, now they just re-signed Sale, so no.
They don't have the money. They have to bring back Betts, Bogarts, all those guys.
What do you guys think about the sale re-signing?
I think it's a safe move. I don't think they overpaid.
The people on Pardon the Take today said that he was a free agent after this year. It was cool to see people on ESPN fuck up. It was cool to see like two professional sports analysts
They
say that,
do
and
that
I'm like, I can't even name 5 people on my team, and I know that's wrong. I can't name 5 people on my team anymore. I could try. Carlos Rodon, Tim Anderson, Jose Abreu,
Going.
that kid that we just gave all that money to,
Moncada?
Eloy Jimenez.
He's gonna be nice.
No, yeah, Kopech. I forgot about him.
You can name like 10.
Oh,
You guys still have
Moncada.
Moncada? Yeah.
Yeah, Moncada. Oh, we still have Castillo, don't we? Wellington Castillo.
Yeah.
All right.
Big WC.
That's about it. Oh no, Adam Engel, great defensive glove. Guy grabbed 3 home runs in 1 week.
Just going to bat you 115.
Kyle,
I
defense wins championships.
And some offense.
Did you watch the Super Bowl this year?
They had
That's why he
some
said
offense.
some.
Also, like this could be the segue if we want it to be because it kind of set up properly. But what a great end of career catch for
Yeah,
Gronkowski.
okay.
Oh yeah.
It pains me, but
Very clutch.
You know what?
Clutch catch.
I want to pose a question. Do you think Gronk makes more money now that he's retired
No.
than he did during the NFL?
over time probably.
That's what I see.
I think he'll make more- I
He's
think
gonna
he'll
have
make
a
more-
huge future.
I think he'll
in
make more
entertainment.
money
The guy could
in
cameo
3
in
years'
anything.
time. I think he'll make what he made in the NFL
I think
between
he does
endorsements. Because whether it's a contract with WWE or Barstool, and he can do both at the same
You
time.
gotta remember, he's got Dunkin' too, and I don't think that ends just because he retires.
He's got what?
Dunkin' Donuts.
Right.
No,
He's
it
got
doesn't.
Dunkin' Donuts. Plus not to mention too, he's boys with Shaq.
Yeah.
You know, they do all those. He can easily become part of Shaq's weird EDM festivals and have dance battles.
I think we need to talk about that because I don't know why that's a thing.
But I'm all about it.
I am
it's
all
Shaq.
about it. I know, but it's just very random.
Shaq can do what he wants.
I'm sure he was on an episode of Tanked. He had a custom fish tank built in his house, and he almost knocked it over because he was on one of those hoverboard things.
Yeah, he should never be on one of those.
It broke in half.
Shaq was also
That's
on
actually really funny.
the wing show.
What?
You know, like where they eat the hot wings.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you meant
Oh,
the
Hot
show
Ones, you
Wings.
What?
Hot one?
80s,
Okay,
That
90s
show was on
show.
before. Like he was even like.
Yeah, he didn't do so hot in that one.
No.
He
That's
cried.
that's actually a really funny show.
Is it?
Kevin Hart did a pretty good job.
No, that and the pan pizza ad that's playing on her tablet. I'm starting to get hungry.
So do you guys want to talk about Gronk?
Yeah.
Well, so he retired.
Yeah.
29.
Yeah.
First ballot Hall of Fame done.
I don't disagree with that.
I don't either.
I feel like it was perfect for him to retire.
Where do you? Where? I mean, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, why not retire on top?
Like,
and he got banged up. He
yeah.
got banged up a lot. He was a bruiser. He wasn't these like Travis Kelce style tight ends.
He was hurt a lot.
He was a physical guy. He was as tall as he was stocky. It took more than just a wrap up to bring him down. So he took a lot of big hits, and he wasn't afraid to stick in and block. He took a lot of shots.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy, you get injured. It's the nature of the position. And where would you rank him all time for tight ends?
1A.
Like, not like, you don't have to give a number if you don't want to. Like, if you want to say, like, if you want to generalize it, like, you think he's top 10, or if you'd break it down to even further to say top 5. If you want to give a number,
I say 2.
1A.
I think Tony Gonzalez is still better.
I have him ranked third.
I'm third too.
I haven't first.
Behind who? Gates?
I have
I
a lot of
have-
respect for Antonio Gates, so he's 2 for me.
No, Antonio Gates isn't 2 for me.
No, I have him at
Mine
one.
goes Gonzalez, Winslow, Gronkowski, Gates, Sharp.
I think that at his peak, nobody could have matched Gronk's production. Nobody was as good as him. It may
Correct.
have been short.
I understand that, but the reason I rank him 3 is because, like Winslow, he was as good of a pass blocker and run blocker as he was as a receiving tight end.
Yep.
But because of his injuries, he wasn't able to put up. God damn it! Because of his injuries, he wasn't able to put up the production numbers he should have put up. And even if he wasn't injured, he wasn't touching Gonzalez's numbers.
And
And I don't think these new age, because like even though they play the tight end position, the Travis Kelce's, the Zach Ertz, the George Kittles, I don't really consider them tight ends. I just consider them big receivers. Because like Travis Kelce's not gonna be on the field if it's 3rd and 1 and you're in a bunch formation to pound it up the middle. He's not a blocker. That's not what he does. He's never going to be on the field to. If he doesn't take off when the ball snaps, it's a delayed route. That's all it is. He's not a blocking tight end, and you know it's only recently that we really started breaking these two positions down. You go back even until like the mid 2000s. I mean, like Tony Gonzalez and Antonio Gates were kind of the exceptions.
Yeah.
They were the receiving tight ends. They were the receivers, but everybody else was a blocker and a receiver.
to me, Gonzalez did it for so much longer.
I think that's where it's kind of a toss-up because the longevity that they had versus Gronkowski, there's no debate. If Gronk was healthy, would he have shattered their numbers? We don't know.
I don't think Gronk would have beat Gonzalez's numbers.
But let me ask you this then.
Because you got to keep in mind, Gronkowski is still, I think, like 4,000 yards behind.
Yes, it's a good.
Gonzalez and like I think like 500 less receptions.
Yeah, it's a good chunk of change.
The touchdowns, he's undoubtedly I think he's the best touchdown receiving tight end we've ever seen, and I think he's the most dominant tight end we've ever seen in terms of like physicality and like brute strength, ability to go get the ball. I mean, there's like training camp footage of when he came in as a rookie, and I mean people like Ninkovich like couldn't even stand with him. And that's saying because Ninkovich was a good, as much as Kendall hates him, Ninkovich was a good linebacker. He was a very above average. Like
he was the guy.
He was a great linebacker. I think he was a great linebacker in his time, and I think he was a force to be reckoned with.
You come to a situation you were saying earlier, 3rd and 1, you got to get the first down to get the drive to finish the game. Who are you putting in there? You putting in Gronk or you putting in Gonzalez?
I'm running LeGarrette Blunt. You need that 1 year.
Are you talking about blocking or receive?
Here's my thing.
Does it matter?
I think-
you're
Yeah,
trying
it
to
does.
confuse. No, you're trying to confuse the other team.
I'm going to Tony Gonzalez.
I think that
Because he can still block.
I think out of all those guys that I listed, I think Gronk is the one guy that you could have on the field for every single play of every single game, every offensive snap,
I was
and
gonna
he would
say,
be able to do
minus
something
when he plays
impactful.
safety.
Yeah, right. every offensive snap, I think he could be on the field, and he could be
he will change.
he could
the
be
game.
equal to the most productive member of the offense in that play. Like he was a good enough run blocker and pass blocker that if Tom Brady were to throw a fucking dime into Julian Edelman's basket 48 yards down the field, Gronkowski was probably there picking up the slack on an edge rusher.
Yeah.
Or Gronkowski was double covered and still working his route. Like he's just dominant. He was a dominant guy, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's not done.
He's also one of the very few players in the NFL to ever have his name turned into a verb.
He's not wrong. It's funny.
Kyle's pickle on that one.
It's funny because he's got this persona of like this party animal, and he just comes off as a guy that you'd call dumb. But on the field, he had a very high IQ. The guy, any play, run blocking, even like pass blocking on the edge, he got everything done.
My thing too is like when, like I'm sure he did. I didn't go back and look at his numbers, but and granted, he was part of the Patriots organization, which is not like this. But you look in his career, played for 9 years. When do you ever remember hearing about Rob Gronkowski breaking the bank with a contract signing?
Nope.
Do you ever hear about Rob Gronkowski having off the field issues?
Nope.
Or anything like that?
Except that time he did a porn star.
No, he kind of got away with everything. If you
But
really,
like-
if you look at it, like if somebody
But the thing
else
is, like-
did what he did,
Like Johnny Manziel.
But the thing is, though, but everybody else, like those people, like if Johnny Manziel did what he did, it would have escalated to other things.
Mhm.
Like Rob Gronkowski, just like he encompasses what football is supposed to be about. He went out and had fun. He had a great time in his career.
he laughs at 69.
Regardless of 3 Super Bowls, regardless of winning 3 Super Bowls and going to 4, he had a great time. And you can tell that he's just this type of guy. Like, yeah, he comes off as this dumb, low IQ guy, whatever. But he's a down to earth guy. You listen to interviews with him; he's not an idiot.
No, not at all.
He's not a street or he's not a book
The
smart
media
guy.
kind of puts him out as that more.
Right. He's not a book smart guy. He's not going to come out and tell you equations and stuff like that. But he gets his profession and he's damn good at it.
He's very likable. He's a likable
And the
person.
thing, you look
And
at
that's
it, like,
coming from Kendall.
He averaged 15.1 yards per game in his entire career. I think that's pretty impressive.
no, that's not.
Say that again.
Or did I? I'm sorry. Yards per route. Sorry. Much.
Yeah, that threw me. when
Yards
you
per
said it
catch?
first.
Yeah. That.
Yards per route, because I say he runs
Here,
routes every time when he doesn't
that-
catch the ball.
That stat being recorded is very unique.
That's some NBA bullshit. Like, this guy on average runs 47 feet before touching the ball.
No, it's
They're
more like-
mapping him out. Like,
It's more like the baseball bullshit where this guy he's a 2-1 during daytime with a ERA
wearing long sleeves.
of 2.6
His wins above replacement
with the sunset. Just
during
about
the El Nino.
15.1 yards per reception.
I
That's
saw a
impressive.
pretty funny hockey stat, one of those types of stats the other day.
during the day.
No, only in hockey do you see the stat like this. It was for Brent Burns, and it was Brent Burns is 69-0 in fights in a season that he's lost a tooth in. That's the stat I saw.
That's a cool
That's
stat.
that's one of those bullshit baseball like hockey, but that's you don't see that in any stat besides like hockey. 69-0 in a season where he's lost a tooth.
That's like the
I
perfect-
love that
Can we-
fights are still a thing. Like,
Yes.
Yeah, and there's still some good ones. Chara got in one the other day.
Yo, it's so.
No, we played NHL and Kyle fought every member of the Bruins team to get to Chara. We on that game we had 87 penalty minutes.
Oh my god.
And we
Yeah.
won like 15-0.
Kyle and I have this thing where it's like we either score 40 goals in the second period or we don't score a goal until like halfway through the second period and then we score like 90. It's just like you got to get once you turn the faucet on, it's over.
The faucet
I
on
keep
that.
saying that. Once we get the
We have-
first one, it's going to keep going.
Can we have a quick little bit of fun with Gronkowski's stats?
I don't know. It's that yards per route.
Yes. So
Which porn star was he banging? BB Jones, right?
I don't know.
Was it BB something, right?
Who did Garoppolo go on a date with?
that was Kiara some shit.
Yeah, I think it was BB. I think it
It's
was
probably
BB
the same
Jones.
one.
All right.
She likes
So
Patriots.
Gronk has played in 115 career games. He's recorded 521 receptions.
I don't know if this is on here too, but he's the only tight end in NFL history to have 1,000 yards in the postseason.
That's
I
pretty
saw
cool.
that today, I think.
Which, I mean, granted, yes, he's been there more than like Tony Gonzalez and whatnot. But like, that's the thing. I mean, like, when you break it down, I mean, aren't things like that part of contention
Yeah.
for
I mean,
who's the best all time?
what is the other thing? Like, who the fuck's going to guard him?
Nobody could.
One-on-one
That's kind of-
coverage.
That's
Like,
kind of
who
my
are you
point.
putting
why
on
he's-
Rob
One
Gronkowski?
person was able to guard him. It was Eric Berry when he wasn't injured. That was it.
I'll give it that.
Yeah.
Eric Berry was phenomenal when he wasn't hurt.
Either way, just the type of player he is, because there's guys that are just fast and good route runners, and there's guys that are big and will run you over. He's both. Not to mention he's very athletic.
And if people are like wondering like why he like retired now so young, like it makes sense because he was so banged up.
And he has nothing.
He also retired on top.
I was gonna say he has nothing else to prove. He might
Yeah,
not
so-
have all the numbers, but he has nothing to prove.
I just read a rumor thing that one of my guys at work sent to me. So the Bears only have 5 picks this year in the
Yep.
draft. That might change soon.
Who are you trading?
Nobody. We might be losing another pick.
Why?
Apparently, there's talks between the Bears and the Chiefs to get Hill for a 7th round pick.
That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be a fucking steal.
All
he did was, like, break his kid's arm.
If the NFL ends up getting involved and it ends up being an issue, like where he's going to be suspended, the Chiefs said that they would get rid of him.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, think about Adrian Peterson. I mean, this kind of seems to me like it's more serious than the Peterson thing, but he did his time, and that was that. No one talks about it anymore.
Yeah.
All right, hold
we don't need to get into it and break it
Yeah.
down. But
Here, stats, real quick. I want to get back to this because this was.
yeah, okay, Matt.
Hit him up.
yourself.
Hit him up.
Hit him with that.
Hone now.
That's a nice Russell Athletic sweatshirt you have there.
Thanks. I
Hit
appreciate
him with
that.
the hone.
Where'd you get it?
That's
I don't fucking know.
That's
Marshalls.
No,
Probably.
that's Modell's. Come on, Souls. You know that.
All right, 115 games, 521 receptions, 7,861 yards catching. How many yards did Gronkowski rush for in his career?
47.
112.
0.
Man, I can't really think of any time he was like running.
Remember, he did all of this against the Steelers, probably.
30.
Souls, take a swig of private stock.
Yeah.
Gronkowski in his career rushed for 2 yards.
You know what though? Half of those receptions were against the Steelers.
That's not true.
I bet you those are all like goal line stuffs
Probably.
or like 4th and inches.
Still, well, it came in
I bet you the 2 yards. Does this say how many rushing attempts he had?
1 rushing attempt.
This is exactly what happened. Brady got hit from behind and fumbled the ball. Gronkowski picked it up and ran it for 2
Could
yards. That is exactly what happened.
Did he score a touchdown on that rushing attempt?
No.
Damn.
That is, I'm willing to bet that's what happened.
They're like at the 8-yard line.
Yeah.
Well, that's like what's his name, the lineman there, Dan Conley. You remember when he had that
Yeah.
return?
Versus the Packers.
And I've never wanted someone to score
You know who I
more.
really don't like in the Patriots?
All of them.
Who's that?
Devlin.
Yeah, that's not really a likable guy.
I don't know who that is.
On the field, neither.
Oh, James Devlin. I thought you were talking about Devlin Bowman.
I was about to
You know
say
what I
that.
thought? He's got a secret underground lair filled with rare items.
And he farts.
Does anyone know? First person to name the movie.
Master of Disguise.
Not you. God damn it.
Souls, I'm sorry, I lied, and I will take a shot of the private stock. He
My
did score a
name's
touchdown on
Devlin
that.
Bowman.
He did.
Yes.
Was it against the
I have
Steelers?
a
It was
secret
not. It was against the
underground
Colts.
lair
Ah,
filled with rare
Close
objects.
enough. You can also take a shot at private stock.
if it was the Cardinals, I wouldn't have to.
Kyle,
Two
the Colts
shot-
are
two
just
shots.
as close to the Steelers as the
Hey,
Cardinals.
hey, Mike
No,
Hatfield
the
Go
coming
ahead.
in.
Argue with me
The
about
Cardinals
the same
have a
time.
lot of
Scores,
Steelers.
baby.
That's why I said
Scores.
2 shots of private stock.
Kyle,
Kyle.
you know what?
Oh, Triple
Just-
H.
Take a shot and then just slap Jeff in the dick
All right.
Do that.
at the same time.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Make my day.
Where does she go?
She's up with the baby. But
Forgot she
you,
was
you
even-
guys got role
smack him in
playing.
the dick
you got-
with the private stock.
I don't want it playing though. It's distracting. I
Just
saw
let me-
Ronda Rousey earlier,
Let me know
and I
when
was roused.
But-
I mean,
But all in all,
Scores.
congrats to Gronk.
Congrats to Gronk.
He's gonna live. He lived his best life so far.
He's gonna keep doing it so far.
Unfortunately, we're going to lose him soon. The way Kyle just wrote him off.
Yeah. Is this an obituary?
If Souls has his way, it is.
There's one good thing about this is that it's one step close to the Patriots sucking.
No, that's where you're
In
wrong.
before the Patriots draft Noah Fant this year.
Yeah,
They do this.
I also think
People-
that.
Imagine if they trade up to get that kid from Iowa.
Which one?
The good one.
So
Two of them.
No,
Here's
the
the
good
thing, though.
one.
Hockenstein.
Yeah.
Probably.
So people do this every year. You know, the Patriots lose somebody, and like Moss, best
In
example.
before the
Oh, they-
Patriots
they're
take
gonna
Jimmy
suck.
Graham and
Wes
turn him into a
Welker.
perennial
Yeah.
All-Pro,
They'll get somebody like Higbee,
or
some
Jimmy
random
Graham.
guy, and he's going to be the next fucking big
The
thing.
Chris
Well, I'm just
Hogan's
saying
of
it's
the
the
world.
domino to fall. So maybe
Jimmy
next
Graham.
it's Belichick, then Brady.
No,
Brady's going before Belichick.
I really hope it's the
They'll
other
go
way
at the
around.
same time.
I like to see Brady around.
Brady and
Until-
Belichick retire, come out of retirement, sign 1-year contracts with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
No.
I mean until they lose.
Belichick is
what
the
fuck?
player, Brady
Why
is the
wouldn't
coach.
they play?
Shout out to Hatfield. He wants some private stock.
You write into P.O. Box 10069, Paducah Lake, California. We'll have private stock sent to you.
I don't think that we
We
could do
can't
that.
It's very illegal in this state.
Is that an address?
Do you remember the America's Funniest Home Videos? They were like out of Paducah Lake, California.
What
I
about
remember.
So
that.
we're
That's not
sending-
the right P.O.
What's
So
Box.
we're
wrong
sending-
with you?
I just
So
remember
we're-
the commercial.
What
So we're
about
sending
Coconut
liquor
Creek?
to America's Funniest Home Videos.
Yeah,
Okay.
Hopefully Bob Saget's still there.
it was Paducah Lake, California. I just remember that.
Speaking of show hosts, did we ever give a toast of excellence to Alex Trebek
For
Why?
what?
for having cancer
He's got stage 4 pancreatic cancer.
and he's going to die soon?
Shuck it! Oh god damn it!
That's
Well,
sad.
it doesn't really fall into our. That's the only reason we never brought him up.
Who's going
They
to
have
take over
sports trivia on that show.
All right, fair. I'll go
Alex
with
Trebek.
that. All right, Alex Trebek.
Will,
All right, well,
Will Ferrell will take over.
Vinny Testaverde.
Suck it, Trebek.
Well, actually, this is sports related, and I'm glad that was brought up. Will Ferrell, as Ron Burgundy, did color commentary for the Kings game on
Yes, he
NHL
did.
the other night. He did a really good
Yes,
job.
he did. It was phenomenal.
He did a really good job.
Should have been my toast excellence.
You
Should've
know,
been.
Should have been.
But
Let's
he's
run
one.
that.
You're a
Hero.
pause.
he was a lot better the time Snoop Dogg
Not to be
tried to do.
confused with a POG.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Anybody here know what a POG is?
Nope.
Yes.
like
Yes.
POGS.
Jeff knows
Yes,
what a
I
POG
do.
is.
Can you
I
explain?
Scores.
think Kendall should know what a POG is.
Scores.
Oh, got it.
Oh, hey!
We're getting a little rowdy, Joe.
We got to go to break. We're gonna go to break. We'll do a little bit of lengthy break because we're gonna have a fun hour next hour.
We don't have to go. You
Shut
just go
up.
3 straight hours.
We're not doing that.
No.
We're gonna go to break. We'll be back in a little bit. I believe. Did someone pick up the music yet?
Souls, we picked
Unfortunately,
Tom Jones.
Earth, Wind, and Fire, actually.
Ooh, nice. I know what's going on then. All right, so we'll be
No,
back
good
in a
played.
hot second.
And we're back. Oh, now.
This is a crew that's always getting jiggy with the fam.
Yeah.
We're back. We got plenty to talk about.
Talk about.
What?
Talk about.
Yeah, but first, bracket break.
Get jiggy with the fam,
I
yo.
swear to God, give me
Bracket-
the bell.
Will the tournament be over by next Monday?
No.
Oh, so we have more bracket next. We have another bracket next week. Excellent. But we have a bracket break today. We, as supplied by J Mart.
Yeah.
I made the bracket, but he gave the idea. A liquor bracket.
Nope.
I think we actually have 2 more weeks.
No, it's only one.
No, it's only one more week. They're already down to the Sweet 16.
Sweet 16 Elite 8 this weekend, and then Final Four finals on
Taco
Monday.
Fall, baby.
Well, it says that the NCAA tournament is on the 8th.
And the finals is on that week, baby.
So we get 2 more brackets.
I think so.
Oh,
Right.
hell yeah.
I think next week what we're going to do is I'm going to put this one in advance. Anybody who has submissions, whether it's through listeners, comment, social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Scores, The Diner, any of that stuff. You can reach us through all platforms of food, strippers, and social media.
I think we should go off one of the other people did.
But we're
Most
going
hated teams.
No. We're going to do one next week. Is going to be 68 or 60. What is it? 64?
68.
68. Bracket. No, it's not 64.
64.
68 is with the other people coming in.
Okay.
64 of made up sports figures.
Okay.
So like
Ooh.
Coach Carter,
No, Thad Young.
Thad Young,
Thad
Charlie
Young.
Conway,
Bugs
like-
Bunny.
Gordon Bombay, Bugs Bunny, like things like that.
Adam
Do one of those.
Banks.
No, Thad Young will not lose.
Jeff will make sure of it.
Interesting.
Jeff will start paying people to vote for Thad Young.
You know the bad guy in
Kyle, I will show you who Thad Young is on Tuesday
I know who he is.
when the show comes out. Oh, do you?
you know who the main bad guy is in Space Jam? The King of the
Yeah,
Monsters.
Danny DeVito.
Yeah, I did not know that until this weekend.
Should
You
be
didn't know that
Thad
was Danny
Young.
DeVito?
No.
Give him this.
Yeah.
What an amazing.
So we're gonna do a
cast.
liquor bracket. So I will let the Red Baron decide which conference we're gonna start in first. I've broken this down. So we have clear/rum liquors because I forgot to add rum to brown liquor. We also have brown liquor. We have cordials/liqueurs and cocktails/mixed drinks.
All right.
Oh, baby. We all know what's going to win that bracket.
Do
Well-
we?
We should.
We have to save brown liquor for the end. J Mart's dying over there. Let's start off with let's do the cordials.
Cordials. All right. Cordials/liqueur.
Cordials.
All right. So starting off at the one.
Shout out to Ham's Best over here. Real quick.
All right. At the number 1 seed, we have from Germany, Jägermeister versus the number
Jägermeister.
16 seed, Dr. McGillicuddy's menthol schnapps.
Oh my!
Are we voting for the best or the worst?
No, you're voting for the best.
All
Now
right.
the rules are
Dr. McGillicuddy's.
same as last bracket. Same as last bracket. If you haven't had one of them, you have to vote for the other one. Even if you hate it, you have to vote for
That
it.
means you.
Have both.
If you've had both, you vote for the one you like the most. If you haven't had either, dealer's choice, just pick one. So Jägermeister versus Dr. McGillicuddy's menthol schnapps.
Jaeger.
I'm giving up to Jaeger as well.
Jaeger.
Jaeger. All right.
Dr. McGillicuddy.
So do you really
Mark?
like
Oh, nope.
McGillicuddy's?
All right.
Nope.
Next up, the number 8 seed, Rumpelmann's Peppermint Schnapps
Oh man.
versus the number 9 seed, Bailey's Irish Cream Liqueur.
First one.
Have you had either?
I've had Bailey, but outside the other one. I forgot what you said, though.
Rumpelmann's.
That one. Bailey's is trash.
Yeah, but it's better than that.
It's a 9 seed. It's a
Bailey's.
lower seed. Fuck off.
I just don't go by that. It kind of stays true for most of it, but I kind of thought of things later. Like, there's something in here that caused an individual to shit themselves that I think is like
Ooh,
a top.
blah.
I think that's like a top 6 seed in this. because I
Lady
forgot.
Blah. Shut up, Barrel Arrow.
I'm pretty torn right now.
All right, Mass, we'll come back to you.
How are you
Bailey's.
torn?
So, I want to stick to my Irish roots, but
He also enjoys drinking
But Bailey's-
liquor with coffee.
No, that was the Rumpelmans, right?
Rumpelmann's.
That made my ex throw up, which is fantastic.
Rumpelmann's caused me to throw
Which
a full-size couch out a window.
Man.
I'm going
sorry.
Rumpelmann's.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm gonna go with
Rumpelmann's
Bailey's.
caused me to throw a full-size couch out a window. Rumpelmann's also caused me to put a hole in John Stapinski's bathroom upstairs. That was the same night I called Kendall and John Stapinski physically imposing Stephen Hawking.
Ah, dude, that's fucked up.
That's pretty funny.
It also made everybody else there laugh. All right, so I go Rumpelmann's. We got Bailey's.
I'm going Bailey's.
All right, 2 Baileys, 2 Rumplemans. Right, Baron?
Tiebreaker.
Bailey's.
You are a homer, like me.
Shut up, you Harper fan.
Hey, you are too.
No shit.
Kyle took his jersey out of his bedroom to show his family the other day. His Harper jersey.
Listen,
You should.
I don't
yeah,
even
remember
care.
the night that he
I
ordered
know
that.
I shit on him,
All right.
but I love
Shut
him
up.
now.
The
Shut
underdog,
up.
the number 12 seed, Pim's Pomegranate Liqueur.
I never had it.
Yes, you have. You've had that.
In fact,
So-
in fact, you had it tonight.
The other one.
Is it in there?
Yep. Versus number 5 from France, Hypnotic.
Oh man,
I'm going with the upset.
Hypnotic.
I'm going with the 12C beating the 5C like usual.
Hypnotic. And I've searched miles and spent hours for specific
Kendall and I
variations.
one time put 275 miles on my Jeep in one day looking for purple Hypnotic.
Better than going to Oxford with Solsey?
No.
Fuck you.
It wasn't a better trip. It was just a necessary trip.
Who are those hoes?
Sasha Banks and Bailey.
All right.
Kendall,
Bailey
Jeff's all about
large
Sasha
butt.
Banks.
All right. Moving on.
All right, so what do we got? 1 for Pims, 1 for Hypnotic.
Wow.
J-Mart?
Hypnotic.
Mass?
I haven't had either.
Hypnotic was the blue stuff that we had at Eastern all the time.
Hypnotic.
Yeah, Hypnotic.
This is fucking horseshit.
Shut up, Souls. You homer.
I don't know that I ever
know
had
I
it,
am.
but I'm gonna
No, you
assume
had
I
it.
did.
All right, number 4 from Europe. I don't know where. The Honeydew Liqueur, Midori, versus number 13 seed Fireball.
Fireball. Fireball. Fireball.
I was going to pick Midori, but after that, I'm sold Fireball.
Fireball.
Midori.
You already
I don't
lost.
care. I don't care. Fireball's disgusting.
It is disgusting.
Mass?
It's from Japan.
Oh, all right. Japan's in Europe.
I didn't know that.
I got Paul Private.
Well, they had beef with Europe, sort of.
They were on Germany's side.
This is Midori, right?
If Germany won, Japan would have been part of Europe.
That's Midori, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gonna pick
It's
one?
like
or
a
you-
lemon.
I had to pick Fireball. I've never had Midori.
Fireball.
Fireball.
I'm just going by your rules.
Souls
right.
really sold it.
From the hills of Italy at the 11 seed, Di Serono,
No, I don't like it.
versus the number 6 seed from the plains of Tennessee, Jack Honey.
Jack.
Jack
Remember,
Honey.
this is
Serono.
cordial, not brown liquor.
Di Serono.
Jack Honey never had the other one.
Jack Honey.
Di Serono.
Come on, Kendall. I'll
Jack
sing
Honey
you the
makes
song.
me throw up.
I haven't had Jack Honey in a long enough time where I can drink it again.
I'll puke if I smell it.
Jack Honey.
So will Mass.
It's like that
I've
one.
only
That one
had
liquor.
The
where,
one that's been named, but I refuse to vote for it.
No, you have to.
I
So-
refuse. I abstain.
We have
No,
a.
you can't.
Listen, I shit myself off of Lady Blah. You can vote for that.
Here's the thing. This is a
No,
very
he
funny
really
story.
Did shit himself.
So one night when Mass was still living at home, I was at his house and I called Kendall. This was before you guys met him.
No, this was at Eastern.
No, it wasn't. I called Kendall and I was like, "Hey, do you want to hang out with me and Mass tonight? You want to crash at Mass's house?" So he comes over. So I think the Red Baron brought an 18 rack of High Life. I had also purchased some beers.
Okay.
Mass goes, "Guys, for old time's sakes," and he pulls out a Jack Honey quarter pint from the refrigerator, and I'm like, "I'm not sharing that with you. Drink the whole thing, you bitch!" And then I left a fucking $80 bottle of Irish whiskey at his house.
For like 7 months.
Shout out Mike Hughes for really helping me out there.
All right, the number
I also
14
didn't drink that.
seed.
You did too.
The number 14
You did
seed.
too?
I think only myself,
You did
Kendall,
nothing.
and J-Mart have had this. From,
Patties. No,
from
like,
somewhere. It's not brown liquor.
Yeah.
From somewhere in America, the glittery liqueur, Vanique. Remember that? That was in your basement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have I had
Versus
that?
the number 3 seed, Jack Fire.
Jack Fire.
Oh, Jack Fire.
I gotta give it.
I
Jack
love
Fire.
me some
Jack
Jack Fire. It's Fireball done right. Fireball.
You're damn
Fireball,
right.
Fireball. Fireball.
It's from
I
Florida.
used to
by the
close
way.
out
I said somewhere in the United States.
all my bar nights.
All right,
Actually,
Take
shout
a
out,
shot.
shout out to Sadia.
We have the number 7 seed, 99 Bananas, going up against the number 10 seed, Yukon Jack.
Oh,
What was the first one?
man.
99 Bananas. You've had that.
Have I?
Yeah.
Yeah, Yukon Jack.
Yukon Jack.
Kyle, just imagine 99 proof liqueur that tastes like bananas.
Yukon Jack. I don't remember that at all.
It was in a nip form. Would you pick?
I picked Yukon Jack.
Would you pick? Mass? Have you had either of these?
Nope.
All right, just pick one.
What's
What was
done?
the second one?
Yukon Jack.
That.
All right.
It's basically just like a cheap, poor man's Jack Daniels. It's the Yukon Jack.
All right. And then the number 15 seed, Kahlua, versus the number 2 seed, Mr. Boston's Blackberry Brandy.
Boston's.
Kahlua.
Kyle, no fucking way you mean that.
No, he hates.
I
Mr.
will come
Boston's.
across this. No, he
No,
doesn't hate it. He puts on a front because he buys it sometimes.
No, I don't.
Yes, you have. You bought nips for us.
For you.
No, for us because you've done them,
Because of you.
Kyle.
Because of fuck.
Yeah, that's a private shot. You Reba McIntyre bitch. And I'll take the shot for knowing who that is. I'm gonna go Boston Blackberry.
I also know who that is.
Mr. Boston.
She had a show, Reba, with brown liquor.
Like
There's
what-
backwash in there now.
Oh yeah.
like
Some
Reba
stuff.
Kelly
from
Clarkson.
Reba.
It was Reba McIntyre and Kelly Clarkson.
I
Reba
did not know
McIntyre
that.
made the song first. God, stop knowing this. All right, so Mr. Boston wins.
Yeah, we'll send that over there. Do we
All
have
right.
any Mr. Boston?
Kahlua.
Actually, at home, I have Mr. Boston from the Riddler salvage yard.
Were you there that day I brought all that liquor?
Liquor.
Brown liquor.
Oh, there was,
Little
there was a
everything.
lot of liquor.
Dark cherry liquor.
Yeah.
All right, so we
And
got the first round out of the way for the.
We should probably delve into another topic now, right?
Oh, all right. Bracket break.
I'm so glad we had the same idea there.
Mass, we have left clear liquor and rum, brown liquor, and shot/mixed drink.
I guess we're not going to a different topic.
Shut up.
We are after
That
this.
was the whole joke.
Shot/mixed drinks.
All right. We have the number 16 seed, Screwdriver, versus the number 1 seed, the Pickleback.
What the
Pickleback all fucking day.
What is a pickleback?
The Pickleback is you do a shot of pickle juice followed by a shot of Jameson, or if you're Paul, you do a shot of pickle juice first.
Vice versa.
Yeah, you do the Jameson and then you chase it with pickle juice. If it's me, you do pickle juice first and then you do Jameson, preferably a quadruple shot to get the pickle out of your mouth. So it's the Screwdriver, which is just vodka and orange juice for those of you at home who don't know what that is. Fuck off. And the Pickleback, which I've already described. Souls,
Pickleback.
Red Baron,
The pickleback.
Mass, Chris Massey.
Screwdriver.
Screwdriver. And I love Jameson. That's how much I hate the pickleback.
If you love me.
Oh man, this is the greatest thing I've ever been able to do in my life.
If you love
Is
me.
vote the Pickleback in.
Oh, wow. I wasn't expecting that.
I think it's an upset.
No.
Yeah.
It is an upset, but it's the only way for how many months we were able to get Kyle to drink.
Yeah.
I'm
you're
not
right.
drinking, Kyle. You want a Pickleback? All right. All right. The number 8, Manhattan, versus the number 9, Martini.
Manhattan. No. Martini. I don't know.
Gin and vermouth or bourbon and cherries?
Chin.
All right.
The Crimson Chin.
Yeah,
that back
Cubs.
The- yeah.
No,
The
not
Crimson Gin? Yes. Give
Oh,
that
all
back to him
I
right
said
now.
the Crimson Chin because I said Chin.
I heard chin.
I'd give it to the Manhattan.
Wow. Holy hell. For those of you at home wondering why I said that, Red Baron owns a button-up shirt with martinis on it.
You know, I would never just have. There's people out there who will have.
I
a
need to have
martini.
one round, like one first round thing, like a tough decision for somebody. And I know Jeff's also a fan
this
of both.
is kind of tough.
I'm going Manhattan.
There will be a martini. People have just a martini with just vodka.
What is it? 2
Vodka
to 1 right now?
vermouth.
Yeah,
Ugh.
Manhattan over Martini.
Martini.
You probably never even had a Manhattan.
I've had both.
You haven't had a Manhattan.
Yeah, I have.
Not a real Manhattan.
Says who?
Me.
No.
Trust me. You haven't.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
We'll discuss this after the show.
All right.
You're going to have to tell me what was in it.
Tomato juice.
You know what? I'm going to have to give it to the Manhattan.
Right.
Only because if you take a really good bourbon and make a Manhattan, it's far superior than if you take a very good vodka or gin and make a martini. Now, I love a martini.
I made some pretty mean Manhattans on New Year's
yeah,
Eve.
Paul.
Yeah.
Paul
Oh, I'm
is
a master.
pretty much the reason why I'm leaning Manhattan.
I'm a master of the craft at the Manhattan.
What's gonna be cool? There's gonna be a bar in the next part of the studio
Oh, yeah.
eventually, so we could make. Like,
I've got
drinks.
plenty of things.
I got a sleeping bag I'm planning on putting in the back of my truck. And
All
then I'll
right.
just close the cover over me so I'm safe. Just won't be able to breathe.
All right, the number 12 seed Old Fashioned versus the number 5 seed Jameson and Ginger.
Jameson Ginger.
I'm gonna give it to the old fashioned.
You fuck.
You don't even like muddled fruit.
I don't like muddled fruit. Actually, that's the part I take out. I just like.
So then you did.
She just like bourbon.
So that's not an old fashioned.
Well,
An old fashioned consists of muddled
what
fruit.
I'm saying is,
No.
I have it sitting there, and then I take it out.
So no.
But I the drink itself I like. It's a
But
good
you're
drink.
removing something from the. That's like me saying, I love a Jameson and ginger just without the ginger.
Yeah, but the
No, no,
difference
no.
is-
Tell me how that's different.
because the muddle it's a physical thing. Jameson and ginger are both liquid. I'm removing a solid out of the equation.
Yeah, but the solid flavors it just as if a ginger ale
But
is flavored.
So they designed the drink with fruit in it. If they could find a way to just put fruit flavoring in of some sort,
It's not the
then
same because they
No.
have to be natural fruit.
well, what a natural fruit juice.
Listen, if you like the old fashioned, you like the old fashioned. I'm just saying, fuck you.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Up yours, guy.
Jameson and ginger versus the old fashioned.
Jameson and ginger.
Mass.
Old fashioned.
Jameson and ginger.
That was close.
We tried, Maz.
Fuck your muddled fruit.
Yes.
I just needed to give a split vote.
All right. Number 4, the pistachio shot versus the number 13 gin and tonic.
Gin and tonic.
Ah,
shot.
gin and tonic.
The pistachio shot.
It's so good.
It's like one of the most dangerous shots in the world.
It's so good.
Don't worry, the most dangerous shot in the world's coming up. But that's just fantastic.
I have fond memories of the
What is
pistachio shot, so I vote that.
It's a blue curacao, creme de coco, and something else in it. I don't remember what it is. You have to look it up.
It's very good.
Yeah. And then gin and tonic has gin and tonic
And lime.
and lime.
Hey, Michael Brantley's just never mind.
Actually, J-Mart and I drank a lot of gin and tonics one day before we went to the mall.
You know what I miss I'll never forget when Bombay Sapphire they had to like cancel half the bottles because they were way overproof.
Yeah.
Because I'll never forget there was one day I felt like such a bitch because I only had like a couple shots of gin and I felt wasted and I was like, oh, I'm getting soft. And then
Yeah, it turned out it was 130
Yeah.
proof gin.
I missed those.
Yeah, just like when they had the Corona bottles with the glass inside of them.
Oh,
Almost as good.
Yeah, you try telling the driver he's got to pick up 480 cases of Corona.
yikes.
Go ahead.
It was pistachio versus
Gin and tonic.
pistachio.
Have you ever had either of them? You've never had a gin and tonic?
I don't like.
But you worked at a hotel.
I'll tell you what though, if you've never had either,
I
the
can't drink
pistachio
while I
shot
work there.
probably sounds better.
Yeah. Mass? You said the pistachio shot? You said
Gin.
gin?
Tonic.
Gin.
Pistachio.
Ooh, oh, man, gin and tonic. It's all about the gin. Gin and tonic, it's one of those things where it's like Jameson and ginger is like a bad example because it's Jameson. But like the gin and tonic, like, yeah, you make one with like Beefeater, like go fuck yourself. A Hendrix gin and tonic?
Beefeater.
Oh, I'll take a Beefeater Gibson.
Oh, God.
Extra onions, please.
I made the Gibson martinis for Red Baron one time.
Yep.
Thanks.
So we didn't have actually cocktail onions, so we used regular onions.
Oh,
All right, number 11, the Boilermaker versus the number 6, Jack and Coke.
Fuck.
Jack and Coke.
Boilermaker.
Boilermaker.
Jack and Coke.
Scores, baby. Jack and Coke.
Yeah. I just like the Boilermaker more because it's like there's so many options. There's nothing that says good night out like a Bourbon County with a shot of Southern Comfort.
Oh, my God.
There's nothing that says inexperienced drinker than a Jack and Coke, but I love a Jack and Coke, and I am a very
No,
experienced
there is.
seasoned drinker.
There's another one that says more inexperienced drinker, and we'll get to it. All right, the number 14 Margarita versus the number 3 Jaeger Bomb.
Oh,
Margarita.
Bomb.
killing me.
I know. I put all of Jeff's classics in here. Although
Fuck.
Mark and I we're gonna have this on the show next time. I'm just gonna have the contents in my backpack ready to go for whenever he's on, because schedule and whatnot. But we made the Martin Martini
The Martin Martini.
through text. We made the Martin Martini.
Can you describe the ingredients?
Oh yeah, it's very, very, very simple. It's Bush and Monster with a splash of Jack.
I'm already for this.
It's called the Martin Martini
I'm
or
interested.
the Martinini.
Can I
Martin-
pass
Martin
on this one?
No,
There's something very
look, you can
satisfying.
pass, but if you pass, the old fashioned trumps the Jameson and ginger.
Nope, won't do it.
There's something very satisfying about the Jaeger
All right,
bomb.
so what do you say? Jaeger Bomb or Margarita?
Jaeger bomb.
Souls?
I already answered.
What'd you say?
Not.
So Margarita?
Yeah.
Okay. Mass? Jaeger Bomb or Margarita?
Margarita.
Jaeger Bomb. Either one. The Blarney's one, which was with root beer.
Never seen that before until then.
Yeah, but Chet.
Our good friend Chet.
Come on, J Mart.
That's so tough because I love me a margarita.
This is taking way too long.
I'm
Soul's just pissed.
Kyle, odds are even.
Even.
Margarita.
Damn.
That's
an
not
upset.
what I wanted to go with.
It's an upset.
You should have gone with what you wanted to go with.
All right.
They're so neck and neck, though.
Number 7, the Black Russian, which is Kahlua and vodka, or known as the Riddell Special.
Thought it was a White Russian.
No,
No, that's milk.
Yeah, I do Kahlua and vanilla vodka, Black Russian. Very good. Or the number 10, arguably the most delicious shot ever, the Alice in Wonderland.
Alice in Wonderland.
Alice in Wonderland.
You've had both, Souls.
I like the name Alice in Wonderland.
I've never had either, so I'm going with Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, me too.
It's
What is
a remarkable shot.
It is
Everything.
Soko 100 proof, Di Serono, and Grand Marnier. Even pours of each shaken over ice, strained into a shot glass.
That
and
sounds
it tastes
delicious.
like no booze at all.
But it's 100 proof. Plus, it's I don't know how it
It
works,
puts you in a
but
different
it
world.
works.
All right, and then last but not least, the number 15,
Ooh,
everyone's
Bliss.
beginner drink, the rum and coke, versus the number 2 Irish car bomb.
Oh,
Car bomb.
Car bomb.
Car bomb.
Souls hates the car bomb.
Rum and Coke, baby.
Rum and Coke.
Car bomb.
Never had a car bomb.
Oh, really?
What are you guys taking me out
Do you like Guinness?
Well, we can make it here. Be a mess, but
So
we-
it's-
I can make it now.
It's a glass of
It's gonna be a
Guinness,
little different.
I know what it is. I
Yeah.
It's a little
can't
different
It's
because
so
I
good.
only have my semen
but you have to drink it
Evan
quick,
Williams
or it curdles.
and Bourbon County. Could you imagine
Oh,
using a Bourbon County in a car bomb?
God damn, you'd be fucked up. Let's do it. What are we waiting for?
That is the most expensive car bomb
Yes,
ever.
it is. That's an Irish.
It's like a $20 car bomb.
That's an Irish nuclear warhead.
All right, so
I don't like
stag
that.
party.
over
There's
there
going to be a
somewhere,
lot
right?
of drinks.
Who's stag party?
Mine.
I'm not going to that.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I don't even really know you.
Shut up, Soul.
Am I going to be your best man?
No,
Then fuck off. Am I in your wedding party?
no.
What the fuck? She's in the wedding party and I'm not.
I didn't get a choice.
She wouldn't know the person
his
she's
best
in the
man.
wedding party for if
All right.
it wasn't for me.
I
Shut up,
didn't get a choice.
Round the horn. Everyone's best man. Go.
No, we're not doing that, Souls.
the Michelin Man.
So it's me.
so let's go. So it's me.
Shout out to Crimson Chin Rob Cadell. Ooh, I see you.
Oh, man. Souls, do you have a topic you want to talk about? I know you want to get into some sports.
I really.
I'll ring the bell the second he says a word. No, I'm just kidding. Souls, go, 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 go.
So what are you talking about?
Go.
You're itching. I can tell you're itching.
I'm not, though.
Oh,
Let's talk about the fact that the
All right,
Knights
what
are
about
gonna-
what about mixed martial arts?
what about
Can we talk
MLB
about that or no?
expectations this season?
Okay.
Did we already do that 2 weeks ago?
No.
All right.
Fucking ass.
In the mic.
Ass.
Thank you.
Bitch.
All right. So,
Who's got the most to prove this season?
I like to go first on this, and it is the Philadelphia Phillies. For sure, the hype is there, but is the hype real? You know, the pitching staff fairly solid. We'll say fairly solid. So
a lot of question marks in the pitching staff.
Especially the bullpen.
Bullpen's all right.
Fuck.
No, the rotation's got a lot of question marks.
it's a squad that is definitely I could say not definitely, but projected that would be
Hey,
having
look, Frank
no
Thomas.
Their season to me 100% rides on what the split is between good versus bad games by a Dubal Herrera. If a Dubal Herrera in a 10-game span goes 6 games on, 4 games off, they're going to win the division. If it's 4-6, they lose. Because when he's 6-4, he hits 45 doubles, 35 triples, 2 home runs, steals 3 bases, gets hit by a ball, walks twice, and has 14 RBIs.
Imagine your favorite 2 players currently play for the Phillies.
So, the Phillies this
Harper
season,
and Rhys Hoskins.
in the beginning of the season, it's going to be a little rough.
Oh, yeah.
I hate my
They
life.
were all
Take a
injured
box
before.
for that one.
I hate my life. Phil's in 4.
Oh, hold on. Sorry, not to interrupt this, but I wanted this to be in one of Toast Excellence. I don't know if Jeff saw it, but he's the one I'd want to see it the most. Have you guys seen the Dwayne Wade jersey swap memes?
Oh, yeah.
No.
Dude,
The Carmelo one.
they photoshopped Melo's body on somebody and had him holding Wade's jersey and Wade holding no jersey. And it was fucking hilarious.
It hurt.
He also did a triple jersey swap with a team Yeah, it was the Bucks.
Spurs.
It was the Bucks. Popovich gave him Tony Parker.
You're talking about Middleton.
Yeah, it was Middleton and Antetokounmpo. So Antler combo, and Middleton had to argue over who got Wade's jersey and who got the other member of the Bucks jersey. So Middleton's just sitting there holding Antler combo's jersey, like, I can get this whenever the fuck I want.
So explain to me why the Wade thing is so funny with no jersey.
Because Melo's not on that team.
Oh.
That was pretty quick.
He was so close to being a Warrior. And then
Right.
signed Bogut.
Back to them.
So this year the Phillies, they're going to start off slow
You don't
because a
know
lot
that.
of people were injured in the beginning of the year.
You don't know that.
By May, June, when they all start to click, it's going to be a very fun time. And I say that with confidence.
Look, I think it's solely for Philadelphia. It's solely on can they get a good bond going? Can they build that chemistry right off the bat? Because last year there was a lot left on the table as far as chemistry goes, especially the reports that just came out with Santana. That is what it is. I think every locker room has issues like that. You guys had young kids called up. It was a losing season. That's going to happen. Now you have, and you can call him a veteran or you can also call him a young gun, but Bryce Harper has a lot. He has to take this team over and become a captain. That's the only way this team succeeds.
He was a captain in Washington.
He was, but he also got into his fair share of bullshit with Papelbon, with the coaching. He needs to step up and, say, hey, I am Philadelphia.
I'm not really worried about Bryce. I'm more worried about the surrounding pieces around him.
I'm not going to say that this team has the most to prove, but I think they have a lot to prove. And that team is the Chicago White Sox. And my reasoning for that is they have a lot of young pieces coming up. I get that. They're not winning now, but they've got Moncada, Jimenez, Kopech coming back next year. They've got a lot of young, very talented pieces, a lot of top, 30, 40 prospects. Like a good chunk, right? Souls? Yes? Kyle, I need you to...
Yeah.
You nodding doesn't help the people listening at home.
Yes, they have a lot
Right.
of talent in the minors.
So, but I'm saying, they have a lot of talent, but they need that kind of, guy, that mentor. I feel like. And I'm just saying, there's a lot they have the ability to get to an elite talent level in maybe 4 years, right? 4 or 5 years, and maybe take that division by storm because as for the future and notable past, that division's always been up for grabs. But there's a lot of good free agents coming on the market in the next 2 or 3 years, and if they can start solidifying that there's a lot of young talent to work around and work with, it might bring in some of these free agents. I'm not going to sit here and boast. I don't know how baseball works for free agency. I don't know if people are looking for the money more so than the winning.
It really depends on who you are.
Right, but I mean,
I know
that there's players and granted, this is all barring contract signings, but Real Muto's a free agent in 2 years. DeGrom's a free agent in 2 years. Stroman's a free agent in 2 years. I mean, next year you have people like Bogarts as a free agent. JD Martinez can opt out of his contract. Gregorius, Ozuna. I mean, not necessarily superstars, but very talented players to help kind of round out a team with holes. And the White Sox still have a lot of holes. I mean, people Kenley Jansen can opt out of his contract after this year. There's a whole bunch of people that can become free agents in the next 2 years that are, big name guys, and some of them will re-sign with their teams and whatnot. But if the White Sox can show that, hey, we have these young guys now, whether, Jimenez just signed what was a 5-year deal or something like that. They have these guys that they keep sending down to the minors for opt years and all that shit. They sign a guy to a 5-6 year deal and they put this team together and be like, hey, we have this team together for 5 years that can contend.
The reason why the White Sox are very interesting is because...
And they have a lot of money.
That, and also they play in a division where the Indians are starting to take a step back. And after the Indians, it's kind of wide open.
Well, to what Riddler said, just kind of that division seems to always be up for grabs. There's teams that are hot for 3 years at a time, and then it turns over.
But with these young guys, they're gonna, they just signed Jimenez. Kopech, I think, is still under contract for a little while.
Yeah.
And then all these other guys that they keep.
Well, Kopech is not a free agent, not considered a major league pitcher yet.
Right. So I'm saying they have these guys that they still have for these years and whatnot. And it's once all these guys come up, if they, in the next year or two, ink a couple of not big free agents, but bigger, they can be like, hey, that can be their big pitch. We have the ability we have a lot of money. We can get a lot of players that are above average and we can put together a contending team for multiple years versus like let's try to go out and do it all in one shot. But they need to prove that this talent they have isn't going to waste. That like Moncada and Jimenez can put up great individual stats, but if they only win 50 games, that means outside of them there's nothing. Right now, I mean, the only three players on that team that I think are locked in that don't have anything to prove for their team, whatever, is Moncada and Jimenez because they're young, and then Rodon I think he's going to have a great year, personally. But like Abreu has something to prove. He's a free agent this year. Anderson still has stuff to prove. He's not consistent enough with the bat.
If the White Sox are out of it, Abreu will be gone.
I agree.
You mean they'll trade him?
Yeah.
Because Abreu is one of those players that has a lot of pop, but
He's
also,
older too.
right? But he has a lot of pop, but he also puts the ball in play.
He's a guy that like playoff teams would definitely want to pick up on.
Right, like he doesn't swing for the. If there's a guy on base and they need a run, he's not swinging for the fences. He's putting the ball in play. He's a very good situational hitter. Bracket break. Then we'll get back to the MLB. Kyle, real quick, can you pick for me? Can we either need to do clear liquor or brown liquor?
Brown.
Can you say it? The whole thing?
You gotta say it like
Brown liquor.
Not good enough. All right, the number 1 seed Johnny Walker Black versus the number 16 seed Southern Comfort.
Johnny Walker Black.
Johnny Walker Black.
Johnny Walker Black.
jaywalking, baby.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give a vote to Soko just because they need one. All right, number 8 Maker's Mark versus the number 9 Basil Hayden's.
Wow.
I don't think I heard either.
Yeah. Kyle, every bourbon that's on this list you've had because of me.
I don't remember either.
That's because you've had them at a time when you couldn't remember.
All right, 9 seed.
All right.
I give it to Basil Hayden's.
I'm gonna go with Makers.
Makers.
Wow. It's not really an upset. It's just
Well, no, they're the 18. Number 5 Jack Daniels versus the number 12 Vanilla Moo Cow.
Ooh, Moo Cow.
Ooh.
yeah, Moo Cow.
I wasn't sure if Kyle had this, so I ranked him as a lower
No,
seed.
that shit's so good.
He's had the Moo Cow before.
I also picked the Moo Cow.
Jack Daniels.
Well, you lost.
I've only had Jack Daniels. I have to vote.
Moo.
I have to vote for him.
All right,
by the
the
rules.
number-
Give us a move. Hold on.
Now here's the move.
Ring the damn bell. Give us a move.
Moo break.
He sounds like he's trying to take a shit.
That's
I turned him way down because it would just be miserable.
number 4 Jim Beam versus the number 13 Hennessy.
Hennessy.
Ooh.
There's
Wow.
liquor everywhere.
What kind of Jim Beam we talking?
Regular
Hennessy.
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 Shout out to my boy Jay Will.
Hennessy.
There's liquor everywhere. We out here in Fort Wayne, Indiana, popping big bottles.
Big bottles.
Number 6 Glenn Morangi versus the number 11 McAllen.
McAllen.
He hasn't had either.
Glad Morangi.
Better go McAllen for friends. Remember, I bought your Phillies tickets
If you like
But
bad.
you better go with Glenmo if you're
To-
lovers.
to both of them.
Oh, the secret trip.
Bitch, I asked you to go. You
Secret
said you were
trip.
working.
Glenmo.
So I specifically bought tickets for you for the next one.
So
Not
who did you vote for?
McAllen?
McAllen?
We
You
have
vote
2.
for McAllen?
It's 2 for McAllen, 2 for Glenmo.
Wow.
You know I'm
Just so Kendall has to choose.
Buy me a Harper jersey.
I already got one.
Glenmo.
Buy me.
I'll buy you a McCutcheon.
I don't want one.
You're a liar because
I don't want a Bryce
you're
Harper.
just
Phillies
sad
jersey.
that he's in
All right,
Philly.
number
No
14.
shit.
Hey, number 14 Jefferson's Ocean versus number 3 Gentleman Jack.
Oh, Jefferson Ocean.
Oh,
all
I
day.
just wanted to see Jeff's hair
Jefferson's
grades.
Ocean.
That's a
Come
good one.
on. That was the first one I ever had with you.
But my name was engraved on a
What
gentleman
happened?
bottle.
Both of those things are because of me.
What
Let
happened?
me tell you this. I'm your friend.
Jefferson's Ocean.
You're not my friend.
Versus
Buy me a
Gentleman
Bryce
Jack.
Harper jersey.
All right.
Home.
Oh, what?
I didn't
Home.
hear what
Red.
his problem was.
Don't worry about it.
No.
Just vote.
White pinstriped.
Ocean.
It's on tape.
The ocean.
The Ocean.
wins.
Kyle's buying me a Bryce Harper home jersey.
Yeah, until he knows it's Andrew McCutcheon in his hand.
I
No.
don't want an Andrew McCutcheon jersey
Number,
other than the Pirates.
number 7 Patty's Irish Whiskey
Nope.
versus the number 10 Knob Creek.
Knob Creek.
Patties.
Patty's.
Is that the one that was at what's your call?
Lenny's.
Yeah, that one.
Patty's.
I lied.
Patty's.
Mike Catfield wants to know. I don't know if it's a spoiler or not, but he says here Now, I already know you ain't leaving out my nephew, Evan Williams, out of the fight.
Number 2 seed Jameson versus the number 15 seed Evan Williams.
Yeah! That's for you, Hatfield.
Can you name the 2 seed again?
Jameson.
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 Evan Williams, baby.
No, you only did that because he said he liked it.
James.
That's the other reason.
That's
No,
right.
that's the only reason.
That's right.
Scores.
I'd like to vote that we move on to.
Shut up,
players.
Is proper 12 on
Chorus.
this?
No, it's not.
Fuck.
Scores.
I
We'll do the
seriously
clear
think I
liquor-
like
we'll do the
proper
clear
12
liquor and
more
we'll
than
round out
James.
with some more sports discussion. All right, so number 1 seed Casamigos Tequila versus the number 16 seed Smirnoff Raspberry.
Casamigos.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't either, but like Smirnoff
you
just sucks.
If you haven't had Smirnoff Raspberry,
Casamigos, I also picked.
I've had Smirnoff everything because of Jeff.
that's not even like close to true.
You're right, but I'm gonna blame you.
You had
Kendall?
a handle of Smirnoff Orange.
Yo, Mike
Not
Hatfield.
Smirnoff.
All right. Casamigos Tequila or Smirnoff Raspberry Vodka?
Smirnoff.
Gross. All right, Casamigos wins. Number 8, Red, White, and Blue Smirnoff, or the number 9, 3 Olives Grape.
3 olives.
Hey, shout out to Handy. 3 olives grape.
Yeah, I got to give the 3 olives grape.
I drank almost that entire bottle of Red, White, and Blue at the fireworks.
Yeah, that stuff was horrible.
I friend
I
requested
almost-
everybody that Renee follows on Instagram.
I almost
that
did some
night.
bad stuff that night.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, her stuff was in my bed.
Lady Blah.
Who's Renee?
Her stuff was also almost in your lap.
It was.
Lady Blah.
No, that's not an option.
I know. I haven't either.
Red, White, and Blue Smirnoff, or 3 Olives Grape.
Well, 3 olives grape because I never had Red, White, and Blue Smirnoff.
All right.
I'm hoping that it tastes like America.
I already voted.
Just
I already voted for grape.
all right. The Who's Renee question is a question best served off the air.
All right.
She's a fox.
Souls ain't holding back.
Number 5, Ciroc Peach versus number 12, Jose Cuervo Silver.
Ciroc Peach because of Jeff.
Ciroc Peach.
Ciroc Peach.
Ciroc Peach.
Jeff Cuervo?
No. Peach all day. That's what Kyle bought me a shot of.
Yep, I
All
remember.
right.
Throwing
We
it.
really
Old.
scored
Number
that
4,
one in.
Captain Morgan versus
Uh-oh.
number 13, Pinnacle Whipped.
Oh,
Oh,
Captain Morgan.
Captain Morgan.
Yeah.
Pinnacle whipped.
Oh.
fuck you.
All right,
Go to
Pinnacle
hell.
Whipped.
Go to hell.
Thank you.
Kendall
Kevin.
said it.
This one's going to be a little tricky for Jeff.
Great.
Number 11 seed, Tito's Vodka. Versus,
Tito's handmade vodka.
Yes, correct. Versus the number 6 seed and the ultimate
Get to it.
No, it's due, bro.
nope,
No.
contraception of his child,
Uh-oh.
Remy White.
Give me white.
Wow.
The first time I ever met Amanda, which was the first time Jeff ever banged Amanda, was
That's correct.
I was
watching
there.
Amanda have a glass of Remy White with water.
The
Ugh.
other one.
Tito's.
Tito's.
I'm also going Tito's. Remy White's gross.
Oh,
Tito's.
I'd never had Remy White,
you know.
but I like the word.
All right. Number 14, UV Blue versus the number 3 seed, Lady Blah.
Now I need everyone
I've never
to
had
catch this.
either,
So
but I'm going with
this
Lady
is-
Blah.
Listen,
Jeff,
listen here.
just explain the story.
Hold on, I will in a minute, but
Is this the one you were talking about?
Blue, because Kyle drank some Lady Blah.
I had
And
a lot of
Albertus,
Lady
okay?
Blah that night.
So much so that one, he apparently fell in love with some girl who didn't love him.
Amanda
He kissed
Jesse.
her. He
Who was
also
gross.
came back to the room, fell asleep, let off the biggest fart ever. Turns out it was not a fart. He shit himself, threw up into our trash can. Me and 2 other kids had to carry him to the showers, hold him there as we rinsed him down, put him back to bed. He wakes up at 10, maybe 10:15. We already skipped practice. We got shit for that. And he goes, "Does Amanda Jesse like me?"
What
Oh,
was
so-
this? High school?
No, this was college.
This
and
is college?
the best part, we had this kid, shout out to Hughes. This kid walks into the room. Now it stinks. Imagine what this room smells like. It's been closed doors. There's shit in Kyle's pants. There's throw up in the toilet, the
Garbage can.
And this kid comes in and goes, "All right, you know what? I got this." Takes one walk, looks over to Kyle, and just throws up in the garbage and leaves.
So I'm voting for UV Blue
Yes.
because I hate Lady Blah because of a certain kid that Paul Nass and I went to school with.
Is it Colin Hopkins?
It is not.
Who is it?
Twix. I only met the kid
Did
like
he
once.
drink Lady Blah?
Yeah, that was like his
So,
exclusive drink.
I got to bring you guys into the story
Right.
too.
yeah.
So Kyle at this point is sleeping. We already wiped his ass for him. He's asleep in bed. Room still smells
I
like
hope
shit.
you use like arm gloves for that.
I don't know.
Full
This is the worst
hazmat
part.
suit.
No, 'cause they were also drunk.
We were all fucked up, but I've never sobered up so
Shout
quick.
out to Johnny Almonte.
Yeah. So these guys FaceTime me as a couple of girls walk by the room to check in on Kyle. And I'm on FaceTime so they could hear everything. Kendall goes, "Who are those fat bitches?" And I just hung up on him and had to deal with the consequences.
Meanwhile, at that exact moment in time, Kendall and I were fucking blown out of our minds.
I think I was
between
worse.
fucking pot and Maker's Mark on John Stopinski's couch.
I think I was in worse shape than you guys.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%. But it was just a very funny thing that
You know what,
all
though?
four of us were just
You
like
know what
that.
though? This kid Johnny, every time I drank in college, it was like a fucking holiday.
It was.
And they were like,
He would bitch out all the time. Like,
and when
like now
drank,
he drinks for fun.
when I drank in college, they were like, "It's on me."
Oh, we would skip class the next day. You know, everyone.
It was me and Bear that everyone like was like all about.
So is it UV Blue or Lady Bly?
Lady Blah,
I gotta give it to Lady Bly.
Gross.
Sure.
That stuff makes you shit.
we love it.
I hate it. It's like, what was the other one? Sailor Jerry.
Oh man,
All right, number 7 seed Malibu versus the number 10 seed Dubra.
Malibu.
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 Dubra.
Dubra. I hate Malibu.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Dubra
but
is
pineapple
fucking
juice makes the
awful,
coconut
though.
go away. Nothing makes the Dubra taste
No.
go away. All right,
It's not
and then the
wrong.
number 15 seed Pink Lemonade Brunettes
Never had it.
versus the number 2 seed the Mountain Medicine Graves
Oh,
Grain Alcohol.
great.
Mountain Medicine.
Pink lemonade.
Let's get some graves.
Actually, me, Kendall,
going.
Jeff, and Paul are gonna be having that in a couple weeks' time.
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah, so
Is
we're
that
not
for
taking my
the
truck.
Philly
man.
trip?
Yep. All right, let's get a little bit more sports in, and then we'll.
All right,
we
back
gotta-
to the same question real fast.
Yeah, go ahead.
The Atlanta Braves have the most to prove.
Hit the bell. No.
Bracket break.
Oh, now.
Last year they won the division,
Yeah, because the division sucked.
but this like they didn't sign anybody. They got Josh Donaldson, who's aging and always hurt.
Well, Kyle, everybody's aging.
You're aging right now.
But
Dun, dun, dun,
But
dun,
the Atlanta
dun,
Braves
so
We're all gonna
Have
die.
budding prospects.
have no pitching.
Have budding prospects.
They're very young.
Have
I
budding prospects.
I want to see them duplicate what they did last year.
Have Chipper Jones.
Can
Ozzy Albies and Ronald Acuna.
Ronald Acuna do what he did last year?
Yes,
That's the big question.
100%.
Anybody else think that mask looks like an NBA warm-up guy with this tight hood on?
He
So-
looks like Jimmy. No,
From this angle,
Jimmy
all I
Butler?
see is the tip of
No.
his nose. Oh, now I don't.
Oh.
So all I saw was the tip of his nose.
Jimmy
and his
Fredette.
shoulders.
But I don't think the Braves have the pitching. The Nationals, I don't think they have the hitting.
I also
See-
think the Mets have a lot to prove because it doesn't look like they're going to get this DeGrom deal done before the start of the season.
He's going to end up a Mariner.
No, but he's got 2 years left on his deal. But like, if this year goes very poorly, and they didn't re-sign DeGrom,
Send help.
it's going to make DeGrom wonder: do I want to stay here? Do I want to waste my years here?
Gentlemen,
I think the DeGrom.
help.
I think the DeGrom deal will get done. It won't be
Well, didn't
pretty.
he say
I
he doesn't
feel.
want to negotiate any deals once the season starts?
I think that's what he said.
Wasn't that in like 5 days?
Let me tell you this: the Mets are only going to sign one of them,
So
DeGrom or
that
Syndergaard.
division's funny to me because you have two teams, the Mets and the Nationals, with outstanding pitching, and the rest of the teams have kind of a question mark on the pitching, but have a very solid unit around. I mean, Braves, you got Albies, you got Acuna, Donaldson if he's healthy, Phillies loaded lineup, Marlins. Let's just forget about. But that's I mean, you got two
Fun
teams. of-
fact is that they have
No, no, no,
Oriel
no.
Faro
Who
batting
cares?
leadoff.
Who cares?
Could
So
you
anyway,
imagine if they won
two
the division
teams
this
with
year?
plus pitching, two teams with plus lineups, questionable pitching. I think it's anyone's game except the Marlins. And
I stand by there's certain franchises in all sports that are just doomed. I think the Mets are kind of one of them. I think the Mets are a third place team this year.
it depends.
Honestly,
Is there
a
the Oakland
team
Athletics
for
are a
each
team
league?
to like think about too. They
Oh,
were a
I'm sorry.
wild card team last year.
They, always pull some bullshit.
Can they
though.
duplicate what they did last year? They have.
Yes, 100%. They always do.
I get what you're saying, but their pitching, they showed in the Seattle series. Michael Fires game one. They lost Cahill.
Fire.
It's not that big of a loss.
But he pitched well for them last
He
year.
did, but they'll get someone through the farm. They
Do you
always
know-
look at Sean Mignogna or whatever. Is that his name?
He's
Sean
out for
Mignogna?
60 days.
No, but I'm saying, look at him. He came out of nowhere, throws a no-hitter, has a great season. Almost, I'd call
You're
him
right.
ace.
He's supposed to be, but he's hurt.
That's not what I'm getting at. I'm saying they'll get somebody that they'll build up like they always do. They're that team that just shows up.
I agree.
Thank you.
But the lineup is in question.
Again,
Not the
same
pitching.
thing.
Not the pitching.
Same thing.
Because Matt Olson's hurt already.
Again, though, you're listing guys that
Marcus,
no one thinks are going to be good, and then they have a good season.
Marcus Simeon
Except him. He's bad.
can't really field. And he's their shortstop. It's just a tough the AL West is like one of the weirdest divisions. You don't know what you're gonna get. The Mariners can break out because they don't have anybody, and that's what kind of does it.
That's right.
You have the Angels, you have Mike Trout, that's about it.
The Angels are very disappointing, and it's kind of too bad because Mike Trout's so good. But they could build up this high caliber team with a great staff.
Actually, they have
great
the
lineup,
Astros.
and they suck.
They have the Astros.
I mean, the Astros are a perfect example of building a team.
They
and
got
building
Michael
a
Brantley.
dynasty.
He used to have LJ Hose.
No, they don't.
I said used to.
No, I mean they're a team that kind of built from within, added crucial pieces, and then held on to those pieces. So I'm only concerned with Dallas Keuchel here.
Everybody, we'll go around the horn on this one. So we'll start it off with Red Baron, unless you don't have someone off the top of your head. We'll go to Souls. He always has someone. But who's a dark horse team this year to make the playoffs, and who's a pretender this year? Who's a team that like most analysis or analysts would have pegged for being a postseason team that is just not going to do it? And the dark horse is obviously self-explanatory. What team do
I think
people not? It's not. You're not first. I said Red Baron first, unless he chooses to pass. Do you choose to pass?
No, I think I'll lead
Then
off.
suck it, Souls.
I'm no sad.
Well, you can enjoy the buttermilk crispy chicken sandwich you're going to eat in 60 minutes.
I can't.
It's gross. It's the worst chicken sandwich on the market.
Where is it? What?
It's a McDonald's chicken sandwich. It's terrible. It smells like feet.
Looks like feet.
What?
I ordered
If
one
it
time.
smells like feet, and
I
looks like
ordered
feet.
one
God
time.
damn it, it is feet.
No. I ordered a buttermilk crispy chicken sandwich one time, brought it home after working a 12-hour shift, got in the house. Anybody who knows me knows I've got some rancid feet. I took my shoes off in the living room, and I couldn't smell either thing. They just worked together. It's terrible.
So we going to the diner?
Who do you got? Who's the pretender?
The pretender? I'm going to say the pretender is the Nationals. And I say this because that a team that's expected to do fairly well. I still stand behind the Phillies kind of being the favorite in the division, but the Nationals are not a slouch team. They got a great pitching staff, young hitting, young, outfield, whatever you want to call it. But I think they're still expected to kind of make somewhat of a stride. With that being said, I think that won't be achieved, and I think they'll kind of be. I think they'll be a second place team, but they won't make the playoffs. So
Okay.
I think they're
Who's your dark horse?
My dark horse, and they did play well last year, but I'm going to put the Rockies. I think they go further this year.
Okay.
And I don't really have a sound reason other than I think that sometimes a team like that kind of came out of nowhere, if you will, sometimes can build on that. And, I think maybe they make it in. I don't know what happens, but I think that they make the playoffs again.
Souls?
I think
Bracket break. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead, Souls.
the pretender in the Dodgers. I think Kershaw is taking a step back. I don't think the lineup is as strong. I think they're in serious need of help, and they're not really taking care of it. AJ Pollock is always hurt. It's a little, and you got rid of Puig, got rid of Kemp. They're hurting offensively. But the serious contender, in my opinion, is the Mariners. And I only say that because I think that without all that star power that they acquired before, helped them as a unit. Tyler Motter, D. Gordon, Ryan Healy, guys like that are gonna step up.
I just realized I was looking at the standings from last year. I missed my goal by one game. I'll take the private stack. I was on a quest all season long last year for the MLB for the quest for 63, so that we didn't lose 100 games. We finished 62 and 100.
Hey, damn close.
J-Mart?
So
My
my
team!
pretender is going to be the New York Yankee. No, I'm just kidding. I just wanted to get a rise, but I didn't. My pretender is the Colorado Rockies, and that they do have a lot of good talent. I don't see their pitching being strong enough, and I don't see Nolan carrying the weight of the whole lineup. I just don't see it happening. And my contender or dark horse, the Cardinals. They always have a knack for building within. They've added some good pieces, some very good pieces. And that division, they shouldn't have an issue winning that division. So at the end of the day, I don't see the Cubs as a threat to them. The Pirates are not a threat to them. I think they take that division easy.
Nice.
The Red Sox are pretenders. The Marlins are the dark horse, and I'm going to go ahead and take this private stock right now.
Okay.
Shut your fucking face.
So here's the thing. He said that, but what if? What if the Marlins
Go
win a
160
wild
and
card
2.
and pull an underdog World Series appearance, and the Red Sox miss the playoffs?
They won't.
So I actually mine's same division. Same division. My dark horse is the Tampa Bay Rays,
Oh,
and my
What a
pretender. What?
J-Mo with the scoff.
My pretender is the New York Yankees. I think that there is.
all hype, no go.
I think there is a lot of potential. I mean, here's the deal. Kyle's really pissed off at me right now.
I gotta pee.
I mean, last year Tampa Bay missed.
Tilt your head
Granted,
back.
it's a lot of games, but Tampa missed the Yankees by 10 games. That's it. They had 90 wins to the Yankees 100. And the Yankees, I think they deal with injuries more often than people give them credit for because of the star power they do have on the team. And they rely a lot on the long ball. And a down year from Judge or Stanton is really going to impact what they can do offensively. I don't know if I'm sold on the pitching being as elite as it's been. I think the Red Sox are a team that is still poised for greatness in that division and is the favorite to win it. As long as they've got Betts, Bogarts, and Sale, I think that they're a lock to win it. I mean, granted, the Yankees have pieces, but I just think the Yankees have some question marks that might not be serious question marks, but one serious question mark, in my opinion, is just as bad as 5 small question marks.
What's up, Eric?
And Eric who?
Eric Hansen.
Oh, okay. Hello, Eric Hansen. But I think Tampa Bay. I mean, I think Snell's really found his own, and I think they've got a lot of depth. And I think that they have an above average rotation or above average pitching quality and an above average lineup. It's not star studded in any capacity, but that's my take. It might be a hot take, but
No, that's fair.
I'll do it.
That's fair.
Souls, do you have any discrepancies?
The what?
Saying the Rays are a dark horse and the Yankees could be a pretender?
I think the Rays have the best pitching staff in that division.
I'm saying I think the Rays are above average in lineup, hitting, defensive, pitching. They're above average in everything. And I feel like the Yankees, they battle with some injuries from time to time. If Stanton or Judge were to, I said this, you weren't here, so sorry if it's repetitive to listeners, but if Stanton or Judge has a down year power-wise, that's a big deal for that team. They kind of live and die by the long ball.
Well, I think for the fans and the team as well, I think they're still waiting for this explosion from Stanton that was expected.
I think I think the Yankees.
That will happen.
I think you're right, but they're waiting still.
But I feel like Yankee fans, they're going to be content as long as the Yankees make the playoffs and push. I mean, they're not going to be happy if they continuously make it to the AL championship game and never actually make a push to the World Series. But with this Stanton Judge duo, but I feel like Yankees fans, they really more so than seeing that World Series games as a whole. I feel like Yankees fans are kind of waiting to see 50-50 home run out of Judge and Stanton.
Right.
I think Stanton will give you 50 before Judge will this year.
I tend to agree.
I think so too, but I just think that there's more. If Judge or Stanton, either one has a down year, I think it's very detrimental to that lineup.
and it can happen because they're a home run or strikeout guys.
Right, and the Rays in their division. That's why I picked the same division teams. The Rays, like you said, have the best pitching rotation in that division.
They're all strikeout pitchers.
And I think that, especially where they play at a bigger ballpark.
Not really.
No, I know. Just wanted to
Well,
say
you know,
it.
actually,
I'm just saying. I just think the Rays last year. The Rays finished the season 10 games behind the Yankees for the wild card spot.
And they still won 80+ games.
They won 90.
Did they?
They won 90 games last year, and they had a Cy Young pitcher.
You have
Which
Blake
I
Snell.
think he's gonna. I think that Blake Snell is the type of pitcher to come back stronger from a Cy Young appearance.
You got
He's not this big star-studded guy like a Verlander or a Kershaw, where it's kind of like expected of him. Like this was like a plateau. Like this wasn't a plateau for him. You know what I'm saying? Like this is like a.
this is hey, I can.
I think Mash is
Mash,
falling
right?
upstairs. Jesus.
He
Christ.
turned 3 steps into 1 there. It sounded like, you know.
All right, we got to go to break. We'll be back. We got to finish out the brackets. We got a lot of bracket stuff to get to. We got some more sports stuff to discuss. Beer reviews, the whole 9 yards. We'll be back in 90 seconds. the Thirsty 32.
Brown liquor.
Brown liquor it is. All right, number 1 seed Johnny Walker Black versus the number 8 seed Manhattan.
Johnny Walker Black.
Manhattan.
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 Wow. Upset alert.
Yeah, Johnny got walked, bitch.
Wow, that doesn't even deserve. Kyle has to do private stuff for that.
Didn't see that coming, did you, Souls? I'll do one with you, but you gotta do it first.
What you talking about, Willis?
Burns, doesn't it?
That's so private
Yo,
stock
by
for
the way,
that.
when we started this show, the private stock was up to like about here.
All right, number.
And I did this.
Go ahead and drink it, and I'll drink it too.
All right, number 12 seed Vanilla Moo Cow versus the number 13 seed Henny.
Mo.
Wow. Boo.
Henny.
Ugh. No, you're right. It's good.
All right, the number 6 seed Glen Morangi versus the number 14 seed Jefferson's Ocean.
Ocean, baby.
Ocean.
Ocean, baby.
I give it the ocean.
Oh, we have 2 double-digit seeds going.
We have upset alert.
Yeah. All right, number 7 Patties versus number 2 Jameson.
Patty.
Wow.
Jeff just blew up. I think Jeff just blew up.
Proper 12.
You don't mean that over either of those, you piece of shit.
Jordana will be there next weekend.
Patties. Because Jordana.
If you pick Jameson, she'll be there naked.
Jameson.
If she'll be there, she'll be there. I got that.
If you pick Jameson, she'll be at Scores forever.
Jameson.
You can put me down for Jameson.
All right, so
No, but really, Patties or Jameson?
Patties.
Patty.
No. Ah!
Jameson, you can do more with it.
I got to go with
Patties
Jameson.
for me is a
Think
shot
about your
thing.
dad, Jeff.
Patties. Wow. Jameson.
Pick
Fuck.
one.
Jameson. Jameson. Final answer locked in. Proper 12.
All right, what'd you pick? You don't think
I
Proper
didn't
12 is better
pick one.
than
I
Jameson?
love
what's the
Proper
standard?
12.
It's not better than
It
Jameson.
is.
What's the
It's
standard
not.
right now?
Hey, I could have put
Souls.
Glendalough in here.
Souls, what did you pick?
That's the best.
I picked Patty O'Reilly's.
Oh, I
What'd you
get
pick?
I get the
Patty
deciding
O'Reilly
factor.
reads. Oh,
No,
boy.
you don't. I didn't pick.
Oh, boy.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
can of
did.
worms.
No,
Oh,
I
boy.
didn't.
Oh, boy, boy.
Oh, boy.
Can I have the deciding factor?
No.
Why?
What'd you pick?
Jameson.
Oh, I'll pick Jameson then. So Jameson wins.
Hey, boy. Oh, just cross them both.
No, I didn't pick anything. That's
Proper
the time.
12.
He picked Jameson.
Who?
Jeff.
Jeff.
I
Oh,
picked
I
proper
didn't know
12.
All right, real quick, we'll go to white liquor. White liquor. Doesn't sound as cool. White liquor. That's better.
There you go.
All right, number 1, Casamigos Blanco Tequila versus the number 9 seed 3 Olives Grape.
Blanco.
Blanco.
Benny Blanco from the block, baby.
Bronx,
Bronx.
you piece of
Drink.
shit.
Private stock.
I just want to say I predicted that whole movie.
It doesn't matter. Drink that.
Hey, screw you, Soul.
Actually, I pissed off Kendall when we watched that movie for the first time.
What movie?
Because I was like, oh, this is what's going to happen. He goes, have you seen this? I was like, no, I've just been
Yeah,
paying
so,
attention.
you know
What
where
movie is
that
this?
movie started? I had a class. It was called Intro to Puerto Rican Literature. And one of my assignments was to watch the movie. And I loved the movie. Showed Kendall. And
It's a great movie.
We've watched
What
it. About,
We
it's
need-
funny
we need a
because like
Carlito's
it's,
Way.
Al Pacino's in it, but no one
Carlito's Way?
fucking heard of it until that.
And Luis Guzman.
That's right.
Never
Luis
seen
All right,
Guzman.
all right, so we got to get Mass over to somebody's house, anyone's house, and we got to watch
Why can't
Carlito's
it be
Way.
at Mass's house?
We
can
can,
go
but
to
we have to
Mass.
drink heavily. So
Yeah,
let's
that's
do
the
it.
pro-
Let's do it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, come
Hey.
on over. Let's do it.
Any help
But
at my
here's
house?
the thing. It's
kinda
easier
works.
if you sleep over in Wallingford, where we're all at, versus all of us going to Rocky Hill.
Yeah, we'll go to Rocky Hill.
All right.
Hey,
so-
listen. I'm pretty much where Paul's going. So
Yeah.
Number 5.
Yeah, and I mean, I have a truck.
going
so
to
at
your
this
cut- never
point,
mind.
If I hit something, I'm an asshole.
number 5, Ciroc Peach versus the number 4, Captain Morgan.
It's a rock piece.
Ciroc.
Captain,
Uh,
but
You
Mike.
go first.
Ciroc Peach.
All right, there you go.
Come on, dude. We fucked over Mike.
that's right. He's
You wouldn't vote for Captain.
Yes, he would.
He wouldn't.
In the most certainly way.
Yeah, he would.
What?
Oh,
Number
God
11,
damn it.
Tito's
No.
handmade vodka from Texas, Texas, Connecticut.
Private stock.
I didn't say it. Number 11,
I
Texas.
don't want to be responsible.
All right, and number 14, or no, sorry, number 3 seed, you, Lady Blah.
Lady Blah.
Cheetos handmade vodka.
Lady
Yeah.
Blah for
Yeah.
me.
Tito's.
Tito's.
Oh man!
Take it back.
Don't touch me, you foul
All right.
beast.
No, Souls is sad.
All right, continue
number
on with the
7
show.
seed Malibu versus the number 2 seed
The number 2
Graves
seed.
Mountain Medicine.
Oh God.
Great.
Graves Mountain Medicine, please.
Whatever,
I like the taste of death.
whatever was
God
it, Graves.
No, you lost that. All right, we'll go quick. We'll go to cordials. Number 1 seed Jaeger versus the number 9 seed Bailey's.
Jaeger.
I'm going Jaeger.
Jaeger.
Damn, Queen's is it?
Queen's
Queen's sweep, man.
Number 5 seed Hypnotic versus the number 13 seed Midori.
Hypnotic.
Hypnotic.
All right.
All right, we have the number 6 seed Jack Honey versus the number 3 seed Jack Fire.
Jack Fire.
Jack Fire.
Jack Honey.
Fire.
Wait, what do we got here?
Jack
Honey
Fire.
versus Fire. Jack Honey versus Jack Fire.
What's the score right now?
Doesn't matter. What do you want?
6 seed is the Honey, 3 seed's the Fire. Honey.
We're going with
Jack Fire.
we're going with fire, dude.
That's it.
That's 3 fires.
Fire!
Yes.
Private sucker.
Number 10 Yukon
No.
Jack versus the number 2 seed Blackberry Brandy.
Yukon Jack.
Boston, baby.
Awesome.
Blackberry brandy.
Don't care.
Oh,
And last but not least,
Fuck
we're to the mixed
Yukon
shots,
Jack.
mixed drinks shots, all that stuff. Number 1 seed Pickleback versus number 8 seed Manhattan. Manhattan.
Is it,
Manhattan.
you guys
Manhattan.
all fucking should go to hell.
There's 3 Manhattans.
I can go for a pickleback right about now.
Kyle, I'm the only guy who stands with you with a pickleback.
I do it every time.
You just voted for Manhattan.
The point I'm making is
Yeah,
that
you Guinness killer.
Let me tell you
the
this.
point.
Yeah, you big
So-
Waiting
bitch.
for that
You
day.
Why are
fucking
you
asshole.
coming
You
at
weren't
me?
here last week when Kendall
Waiting for
killed
that
Guinness.
day, we would never
For
went
fucking
to, that
bullshit,
guy's
too.
house.
For a bullshit beer. I don't remember what it was.
Red Dog.
Yeah. It's not a bullshit beer.
No,
still.
but Guinness is better.
So I don't even know what you're talking
All right,
about.
number 5 seed Jameson and Ginger versus the number 13 seed Gin and Tonic.
Gin and tonic.
Jameson and Ginger.
Jameson
What?
Ginger.
I can drink more Jameson and Gingers than I can
Yeah.
gin and tonics.
All right, there's 2 and 2.
For me, like gin and tonics, the only time I ever really
I'll
want
tell
a
you what.
gin and tonic, Jameson and tonic.
Either way this goes, I'm not
No,
upset.
the only time I ever really crave a gin and tonic is when it's hot out.
It's when you're with Kyle.
No.
No, when I'm with you, I crave a
You're
bath.
the tiebreaker.
Gin and
Wow.
tonic.
You're,
Gin and tonic
you're a
wins.
big time douche.
Yeah, but
Hey, Quick shout out to us, by the way. Me, Riddler, and Red Baron are going to Philadelphia next weekend.
Yeah, I'm
this
not.
weekend.
Yeah. Wow.
Secret Phillies trip.
Fuck you.
That makes me very happy. Then.
You know why? Because I invited you, and you said you couldn't go. So we bought
Yeah, you
tickets
picked
for
the
the
day where I had to
Shut-
work.
Mass is very happy about my dad's calling me right now. I'm going to ignore it and call him back in a
Max,
second.
I also
But
invited
my,
you. You said you
my
couldn't go.
contact name for my dad is Baghdad with a little
Yeah.
curry emoji.
Actually, the first time I ever saw that, I thought it was from out of the country.
Well, 'cause he came in on the Jeep, so I was like, call from Baghdad. I was like, what the fuck?
ISIS.
Al Qaeda?
Quick thing. It is not a secret Philly trip. I invited you. You said you couldn't go.
Number 6 seed
Yeah,
Jack
you
and
still-
Coke.
you
versus-
still picked
hey,
the day
hey,
where I couldn't
hey,
go.
Number 6
Actually,
seed.
not
No,
good.
hey.
Hold on. Get a little rowdy, gentlemen.
Get
Number 6 seed
activated.
Jack. Number 6 seed Jack and Coke versus the number 14 seed Margarita.
Margarita.
Jack and Coke.
Jack and Coke.
Jack and
Jack
Coke.
and Coke.
Wow, I got
suck.
swept.
Queen sweep as
All
one
right,
might
the
say.
number 2 seed Irish Car Bomb versus the number 10 seed Alice in Wonderland.
Alice in Wonderland.
Car bomb.
We'll let Red Baron go last. What do you pick? I'm going to pick the opposite of whatever you pick. So I want him to decide.
All right, so you're the tiebreaker. Just go for that.
I'm picking Car Bomb.
All right.
Pick Alice in
If you
Wonderland.
want a free
Alice in
JT Romuto shirt, you know where to go.
You don't want that. The MLB shop.
I don't want
Dot
maybe
com.
if you ended
Actually,
up
I'm
my
getting-
team.
I'm not spending any extra money on the Philly trip unless there's a David Robertson shirt
Actually,
or Pat Neshek.
I'm getting a JT Romuto shirt.
That's awesome.
Because you're a homer.
The only reason you're getting
No,
that is
I'm a
no,
No, you're a homer.
You know why he's getting that? He's getting
Why?
that because his aunt wanted to buy him a JT Romuto jersey
No,
for his
Uncle Eddie bought
birthday.
it for me.
No, shut up. His aunt wanted to buy it for his birthday, but she couldn't at the time because the factory that makes their Phillies jerseys ran out of R's after they signed Harper.
So real quick, too. I want
that
you to
true?
think about
That's
this.
really that's
This
actually a
guy's
fact.
loading
That's funny
up on
as hell.
apparel from dudes that played in the same division that he bashed before this year.
All right, what do you pick?
I never
Well,
got
oh, no, no, no,
Oh,
save it.
fuck off.
Save it.
No,
Save
no,
it.
No,
Save
no.
it.
I will stay
Come
my
on,
ground.
Souls. Just say, we got one more pick, and then you can fight with him all you want.
Car bomb.
All right.
Anyway,
No, that's enough.
I never backed JT. I never backed JT. I backed Bryce Harper a lot.
You don't deserve a Harper jersey.
You're right. I don't, but
You
I
don't
bought
deserve to root for him.
Break. Shut up. Max. But let me say this.
Oh,
I know.
I can't wait to hear this.
I know. I bashed on Harper, and I don't really regret it. He was a national, and I love it. He's a Philly.
So a big part of this show is the with the drunk part of the show. And I think Souls is really having a good time tonight.
Oh yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah.
so
Scores on.
So continue with what you're kind of driving at here.
I'm with you.
So Everybody knows that I hated Bryce Harper when he was in Ashton.
Really?
Makes you a fucking homer.
Shut up, Maz. And I would be the first to admit, as soon as he went to the Phillies, I didn't hate him no more.
Yeah, and you stopped talking in the microphone.
Again, so that's the definition of a homer.
Yeah, I admit it, but I never bat JT.
Okay, fair. And this is what I'm going to say about that as well. Now, coming off I'm going to call it a good couple seasons, not really a household name.
JT?
Yeah.
Well,
no.
You got to think about it this way. When he was a Marlin, he never had guys on base, right?
Right. It was a bad squad.
He always tried to do too much.
I don't
Except
know. I don't know how he tried to do too much. He excelled.
Last year, he batted 277, which isn't great, but it's average.
No, it's above average for a catcher.
But like, he didn't have the guys around him. This year, he's batting fifth. He's got Hoskins in front of him. I think they're gonna bet Cesar sixth for now.
And into the microphone would be awesome as well.
But I think they're gonna bet Cesar sixth for now. And if anything changes, Herrera bat sixth. And I think I only like
so
that.
Everyone's batting sixth.
No, what? JT is good. The reason why JT is so good is because of his defense.
You're right. I mean, he's never had that huge offensive year.
We don't need him to. If you bat 300 or 280,
Perhaps you don't need him to, but it's
No.
always a benefit to
Right.
have a good hitter.
but like last year, we dealt with a lot of pass ball, wild pitches,
Right.
that should have been blocked.
Right.
He's gonna take care of that.
Or
That's
he's
what-
not.
No, he won't. That's what a good catcher does. Francisco Cervelli.
I just want to do a quick pause. This guy was all over Jorge Alfaro's dick. Oh, he's got such a good arm, and now he all of a sudden
No,
doesn't
he
give
still
a shit.
does.
Ah,
The only thing I don't like is that the Marlins are batting him leadoff.
whatever. Your father was a leadoff first baseman.
Yeah, and he fucking excelled at it.
Like the program on Microsoft?
Microsoft Office Power Suites.
Like I said before, I hated Harper, but he hates
What?
Goldschmidt right now.
I don't hate Goldschmidt.
Do you hate Jack Flaherty?
Can we talk about?
Neutral.
I don't know enough about baseball. Can we talk about the Goldschmidt deal that the Cardinals just did? Is that a good?
It was
or
a
bad
very
thing?
good sign.
Okay, cool.
Insane signing.
You got $150, $150 million.
$150. That's it.
Bought him a couple
What
of
is
dogs,
the deal?
dogs and kraut.
Paul Goldschmidt's one of those guys that's going to win you a game.
Isn't he old?
He's gonna win you one game,
One game.
folks.
Isn't he that old?
He's 29, 30.
It doesn't matter.
Maybe not
Does he have an
even.
injury history?
No, not at all.
Okay, Google Paul Goldschmidt.
Last year was kind of a down year for him, but
Why was he a free agent for so long?
He wasn't.
Did we trade for him?
yeah,
Okay.
you guys traded your best catcher.
That's not.
We
even
did not
true.
trade Yachty.
That's
was
not what
gonna
I
say, that's not
mean.
even true.
You fucking ass.
Goldschmidt's 31, but he's he's just an overall good player.
Right.
Gold
So I
glove.
should be happy with that.
Gold-
Yeah.
His biggest flaw is sometimes he strikes out a lot, but he
But-
gets on base a lot
But that's
too.
first baseman. You're gonna get the strikeouts. Except if you're Jeff, you have John Jaso.
Jasso.
Jasso, and that's not the case. We have Josh Bell. Ding.
Anyway,
Bracket.
second,
We're back. Back break.
I think the best team out of all of
I
us.
just want you to know the show's over if he doesn't give me that bell back.
The Bellas returned to the
You know,
shop
I'll
room.
You
take
said
the-
back at break.
I'll
Break.
take the private side.
All right. I farted. It smells terrible. All right. Mixed shots. We're down to the Sweet 16 here. All right. The number 8
wow.
seed. Yeah, it's terrible. The number 8 seed Manhattan versus. Hey, can you cough differently? The number 8 seed Manhattan versus the number 13 seed Gin and Tonic.
Manhattan.
Gin and tonic.
Manhattan.
Manhattan.
All right. And last in that one is the number 6 seed Jack and Coke versus the number 2 seed Irish Car Bomb.
Carbomb.
Garbomb.
It doesn't really fucking matter what I pick, huh?
Nope. All right.
But you wouldn't have picked it anyway.
Yeah.
To white liquor.
Guinness is trash.
Number 1 Casamigos Blanco versus number 5 Ciroc Peach.
Yeah.
Ciroc
Shit.
Beach.
Casamigos.
Casamigos.
I'm gonna let Mass pick.
We lost Mass.
Ciroc Peach.
He's back.
Ciroc Peach. Me and Jeff first ever drink together.
False.
Yeah, but Jeff and
Patron XO.
and Shane killed a bunch of Casamigos and then all drove home.
What was our first drink?
Patron XO Cafe.
Number 11 seed Tito's handmade vodka from Texas, or the number 2 seed Mountain Medicine Graves grain alcohol.
Tito's.
Ooh, about
Mountain medicine.
Hey, are we going to the greatest place on earth next Sunday?
No. Number 1 seed Jaeger versus the number 15 seed Hypnotic.
Jaeger.
Jaeger.
Hypnotic.
Anybody?
I want to let Kendall pick.
Come on. No, he's going to be the hardest one. Do you pick?
Jameson.
Private
Yeah,
stock.
let me get the cap for you, buddy.
Hypnotic or Jaeger?
Oh my god.
Oh God, who's bringing him home tonight?
Mass.
Bring a bag.
Psych.
Bring a plastic bag.
Hard psych.
No fries for you tonight.
I think it's so bad. Ow.
His tooth. All right.
What's wrong
With
with
a
this?
plastic cap.
Yeah. Hey, Hypnotic or Jaeger? Souls.
Did you see a dentist?
Jaeger.
All right, Jaeger wins.
Fuck that.
Wow. I can't believe it.
All right, and then number 5 Jack Fire versus the number 2 Boston Blackberry Brandy.
Fire.
I gotta give it a fire.
What?
Listen. It used to be my signature.
Boston.
What's the thing?
Jack Fire versus Boston Blackberry Brandy.
Brandy. Fuck Jack Fire.
Souls, Jack Fire, Boston Blackberry Brandy.
Souls, you right over there?
Nope.
What are you doing?
Get him a bucket.
Go upstairs.
3,
Souls, Jack
2,
Fire or Blackberry Brandy.
1.
Souls, you can't hang down here and puke. We gotta have something. Go outside. What? You can't,
Jet fire.
I'm so upset.
Souls go outside.
All right.
Breathe in, breathe
So, what were we talking about before I came back?
They were talking about Paul Goldschmidt signing with the Cardinals.
no. Well, let's get into some NBA talk. We got some NBA stuff to get. We're getting down to crunch time of the season. LeBron and the Lakers have been eliminated from the playoffs, which is big news. You know, it's the first time in 13 years LeBron hasn't been in the playoffs.
I saw a thing that was kind of like all the things that happened last time.
Yeah.
That he didn't make it. I can't remember specifically what it was. Something about like Peyton Manning had like 49 touchdowns to be the leader in a season, something to that effect. There was something for baseball and hockey, but I can't remember.
Last time LeBron here, you really want a thing?
Yes.
The last time LeBron wasn't in the playoffs, there wasn't an iPhone yet.
Wow.
Yeah. So we'll break it down for you real quick. But that's kind of like has been the bigger news is that LeBron and the Lakers didn't make the finals. There's been other stuff kind of working around that with like the big baller brand thing kind of dying. But as of right now, we have several teams have clinched the playoff seeds. Milwaukee, Toronto, Philadelphia, and Indiana have all clinched in the East, as well as Golden State, Denver, and Houston in the West. What I find very interesting is that even though there's not a lot of games left, with Portland being 45-27 at the 4 seed and Sacramento at the 9 seed at 36-37, there's still potential that Sacramento could get all the way up to the 4 seed. It won't happen, obviously, but
Oh, he's drooling.
We take him outside.
But there's all kinds of stuff that could still happen. Boston's been experiencing a real bad losing streak lately. They're in jeopardy of even falling down to the 6th seed. I mean, they still have 5 games up on Brooklyn, but there's a lot that could happen in that time frame. And Orlando is still making a push with Miami to be the team from Florida to represent the East. I could see either of those 2 teams making the playoffs. I don't see either of them beating Milwaukee, but it'd be interesting. But you think there's any chance that Sacramento, 7 games back, can climb up and get OKC?
Yes.
I think no. I mean, maybe like a week ago, I would have said yes. But we can, if we think it's going to peak, we can't have him down in the studio doing that. Or it will be the end of the show here. But if you said this a week ago, I think
there's 8 games left, and there's 7 games back.
I think it would have to be a
They're not
drastic,
mathematically eliminated,
right?
but
it would,
OKC winning another game.
kind of puts a nail in the coffin.
If OKC wins another game, if OKC so if OKC Yeah, this is weird. I mean, technically, Portland at the 4 seed through OKC at the 8 seed all have. If they all win one more game, Sacramento's out. But the East seeds where it gets a little bit more dynamic. You have Miami at 36 and 37 at the 8 seed. Orlando is a half a game behind them. Charlotte is 1.5 games behind them, or 2 games behind them. Sorry, and they just have come off a couple big victories. They beat Toronto and Boston. And then Washington is back much further. Washington's pretty much out of the mix, just not mathematically.
Is this the kind of mathematical where, like in the NFL, for the Cleveland Browns to have won, they need like 4 teams to lose, 5 teams?
Yeah, it's just they're not mathematically eliminated. There is still technically a way. But it's interesting. I mean, Boston hasn't locked the 5 seed in yet, but they're 5 games up on Brooklyn. So they're pretty much locked it in. I don't think they have the ability to jump Indiana for the home seed. They're 2 games behind them. It's breaking down kind of the way that, like, it's showing the way that it's going to kind of break down. But, you know, what's very interesting for me in the East is that Brooklyn at the 6, Detroit at the 7, and Miami at the 8. It's only 1.5 games separating all of them. And if I'm any team in the East, I don't want to play Brooklyn home or away.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know. It's just going to be very interesting with Brooklyn, no matter where they finish. I mean, right now, Brooklyn's poised to play Philadelphia. I think Philadelphia can win that matchup. I don't think it's in 4. But I'd be very intrigued to see Brooklyn play like Toronto or even bump up if they could to play Indiana. But I just don't know if it's going to happen. Anybody have anything to weigh in at all? No? All right, bracket break. Let's get down to our final 4. All right, we have the number 8 seed. We have the number 8 seed, Maker's Mark. Wait, is that right? That can't be right.
No, I don't think Maker's Mark advanced, did it? It didn't.
There you
Maker's
go.
Mark beat-
Take some more sips of beer. That'll help you.
I could have sworn that it went up against Basil Hayden's. Didn't that win?
Yeah, and then did Basil Hayden's beat Johnny Walker Black? Did I write this down there?
Johnny Walker just went up against. Johnny Walker just won against somebody, I thought.
I don't know. All right, so we're going to go Basil Hayden's then. I don't know. Unless I wrote something down wrong. So Basil Hayden's is up against the number 2 seed, Vanilla Mukau.
Mukau!
Mukau.
I give it to the Mukau as well.
Mukau.
It'll project.
All right, and then we have the number 14 seed Jefferson's Ocean versus the number 2 seed Jameson.
Ocean!
I'm going to give it to Ocean as well.
Ocean.
Ocean.
Good.
All right. In the mixed drink bracket, we have the number 8 seed Manhattan. Oh, you know what it was? I didn't write down the winners in that one. That's what it was.
Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry. It was Jefferson's Ocean versus Johnny Walker Black to go to the Final 4.
Ocean.
So Johnny Walker Black versus Jefferson Oceans.
Ocean.
I'm also picking Ocean. All right. Number 8 seed Manhattan versus the number 2 seed Carbomb. Picking the Manhattan.
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 Carbo.
The number 1 seed Jägermeister versus the number 5 seed Jack Fire. I'm picking Jaeger.
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 Jackfire.
And we have the number 5 seed Ciroc Peach versus the number 2 seed Grain Graves Alcohol Mountain Medicine.
Ciroc Peach.
Graves.
All right, so in the Final 4, we've got Jefferson's Ocean out of the brown liquor versus the Manhattan out of the mixed drink category. I'm going Manhattan.
You go Manhattan.
Manhattan.
Yeah.
What about Manhattan made with Jefferson's Ocean?
Ooh. But the Manhattan, it's still a Manhattan.
You're right.
And then
It's a damn good Manhattan
in
at that.
the cordials / liqueur section, we've got Jägermeister versus the number 2 seed from the white liquor, Graves Grain Alcohol.
That's all I need. Graves.
I give it a Graves as well.
All right, and then facing off in the liquor finals, we've got Manhattan versus Graves Grain Alcohol.
Manhattan.
Graves. Manhattan.
I give it a Graves.
I'm giving it to the Manhattan.
It was a good run. You know what's funny? Red Dog being the beer champion and Graves almost winning. It's basically just our Pittsburgh trip. So
Iron City Brewing.
Yeah.
should have made
So hold
that
on.
list.
What was the final last week? Red Dog versus what?
Guinness.
I'm still pissed.
Is that why Kendall killed Guinness?
hey,
Yeah.
you know, I just went to what's the Total Wine in Milford? They have two 30 packs of Red Dog
Did
there.
you buy them?
No, I got to go back.
Oh, I thought you were a Red Dog guy though.
I
Very
didn't
good.
have the money at the
Yeah,
time to do.
Well, listen, I've taken out like home equity loans to get
Oh,
racks of Guinness.
I need $40 for two 30s.
$40.
Yeah, they're
$40 to be able to buy the brewery.
they're like
Stay with me,
yeah,
Soze.
it's
Stay
like,
with
it's
me.
like 18 something at 30.
Not looking good on this
Does
front.
anybody have any other sports things you'd like to talk about? Sports.
Sports.
Kyle, how about you?
Sports.
You want to say? No. All
Well,
right.
how about Riddler? Can you give us a breakdown of what we're looking at the NHL playoffs
Yeah.
kind of coming up?
Vegas just
Actually,
clinched.
Carolina. I don't know if anyone saw Carolina's celebration the other night.
Ooh, I did.
So Carolina has been doing a thing where after home games, after the opposing team has left,
They throw a fish on the
No.
ice. Oh, no.
after they've left the ice, they do they Carolina also does the skull thing, and then they do an on ice celebration. And like one time they put Duck Hunt up on the big jumbotron, and they had two guys sit in the penalty box and shoot ducks.
They still do the skull bullshit.
But last week, in honor of March Madness, or not last week, but this last game home win in honor of March Madness, they brought out 10 guys onto the ice and they played 5-on-5 pickup with a basketball hoop on the ice, and the guy actually dunked off of skates.
I saw
That's
that.
pretty awesome.
Now, how
That's
tall do you sit
incredible.
on skates roughly?
It adds probably 4 inches to your
4
height.
inches?
So he,
I saw this.
I forgot
wow.
who dunked it. It was Van Riemsdyk. So Van Riemsdyk, I think, is about 6'1", so probably about 6'5".
Kind of like our
I think he
height.
dunked on a 9-foot hoop. But it was just they've been doing that, and there's been a lot of like one guy specifically has been kind of been speaking out about it. But it's been nobody's really. There's one guy's had issues with it, and I don't understand
You
why.
don't even.
It's not. They're not targeting the other
You got a
team.
bag right here.
They're not disrespecting anybody.
You want to take the bag?
They're just
in
being
case.
themselves. And hey, Souls, catch.
What the fuck? He caught that shit.
It was all about
Better
the frog.
hands than Jerry Rice.
But yeah, so we can break it down. Carolina is actually, they're a big not surprise team, but kind of a surprise. There's still a few teams that are in the contentions, like the Blackhawks and teams like that, but it's kind of a stretch at this point. There's not a lot of games left in the season.
Half a beer.
We're about, I think every team has about 5 to 6 games left to play.
Hold on, pause real quick. Let's see if we can hear it from outside.
See if we can hear it.
Did he make it outside? That's the thing. Last time you went in the bathroom.
No, I guarantee he's going right on the deck.
Well, last time was the neighbor's room.
It's true. But right now, the way things sit in the Atlantic Division, Tampa Bay, who secured their spot as the President's Trophy winner,
Lightning, baby, lightning.
they sit at 122 for points. Them and Boston have secured Atlantic playoff hopes. In the Metropolitan, nobody has actually qualified to be a lock for the playoffs, but you've got the Capitals, the Islanders, and Pittsburgh sitting there with Carolina and Montreal as the wild cards. In the Western Conference, Winnipeg is locked up a spot in the Central. And Calgary is locked up. Calgary and San Jose have locked up Pacific spots. I also think Calgary hasn't locked up the number 1 seed in the West, but they're pretty close. They're 7 points up on Winnipeg, so I think if they win 1 or 2 more, get about 3 more points. I think they would be good. But St. Louis and Nashville took a little bit of a tumble, but Nashville and St. Louis both are sitting at 90 points. They're with only 4 points in the Central lead. And then the wild card for the West actually gets interesting. You have Dallas and Colorado, sitting at 82 and 81 respectively. And then you have Minnesota, Arizona, Chicago, Edmonton, Vancouver, and Anaheim all within 9 points of that second wild card team. Minnesota, Arizona are really the 2 teams that can make a push. The Blackhawks are 5 points behind with 7 games to go and 1 in hand on the Wild. So if they were to play the Wild tonight, for example, and win, they would go up to 78, and the Wild would stay at 79. So that does play a key factor. I don't know what they have in hand on like Arizona and Colorado, or what these teams have in hand on each other, because the interesting fact about it is for the Central Division, you have Winnipeg, St. Louis, and Nashville sitting there, and then you have Dallas, Colorado, Minnesota, and Chicago, all teams that I mentioned are either in the wild card spot or on the cusp. And then outside of it, you have Arizona. So it's like it's kind of playing out the way it was before, has been, which is like the Central Division kind of dominating the Western Conference playoffs.
Right.
3 division winners, 2 wild card winners. And it's looking like it's probably going to be that way regardless. So it's interesting. So far, we've seen 3 teams eclipse the century mark in points: the Lightning, the Bruins, and the Flames. My projections would be by the end of the season, we will see the Toronto Maple Leafs get there. We'll see Washington get there. I think the Islanders can get there. It's a little far for Winnipeg. San Jose might get there. They need 5 more points. I think they will, though, with 7 games in hand. So we're going to, we'll probably see 8 to 10 teams break the century mark this season.
Did you say Vegas clinching playoff tonight?
They haven't clinched yet.
Wow.
They scored a point against the Blues, which was all they needed to clinch.
Well, that hasn't been updated.
Shit happens when Mojito comes out.
But they scored a point.
It's true.
So they're in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, Vegas isn't going to do anything. They might win a round. They're going to have to play a wild card team, and the way it's going to work out, if the playoffs were to start today, Vegas would play home advantage to their tied, or they have 1 extra point. So right now they'd be hosting Dallas, and Dallas got a lot stronger.
Yeah, and they're going to lose to Dallas if they play Dallas.
So
Just speaking of Vegas real quick, it's
right,
kind of
it's still right now. It is Tampa Bay's Stanley Cup to lose.
right.
They are by far and away the best team. You have 102 points, 101 points, bunch of teams in the 90s that can eclipse the century mark, and then Tampa Bay sitting there at 122 points. Tampa Bay has got 20 more points than the next best team.
Yeah.
Which is 10 wins. It's Tampa Bay's to lose. It's like the undefeated Patriots.
Right.
Well, I'm not saying that in a way that like
But
they're going to lose.
The
but
impact
it's-
is as such.
right, exactly.
But it's interesting, with Vegas, kind of like last year. It's like what a Cinderella story, and like not that like the expectations were so high, but it's just kind of like
Well, they're high this year, but Vegas came into it last year with this mentality as a expansion team that people weren't expecting
let's
much
see
from
what
them. Right.
happens.
And they blew everybody out of the water. And throughout the entire Western Conference playoffs, they were the big guys on campus. I mean, they thrashed everybody. It was like watching Mike Tyson, box
Us,
yeah. And then all of a sudden they got to the Caps in the finals, and they turned into us, and the Caps turned into Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
They weren't there in the finals, and a lot of those players on those teams have playoff experience. So I don't attest it to that. A lot of it has to do with, chemistry and cohesion as a unit and whatnot. But Souls threw up a lot. Just texted us.
Nice.
Yep. Let's get to 10:40. Let's do some beer reviews.
Yeah, let's do it. And we could have.
I think everybody had well, you only had 1 beer. Mass, why don't you lead us off?
All right, so I started off with what is this? Super Sparkle from Kemp Brewing. It's an Imperial Pale Ale. I personally wasn't a fan. It was a little bit too strong for me, though I think anybody that likes Imperial Pale Ales would have enjoyed it. As such, I will give it 2 stars. It wasn't for me, but I think that anybody that tries it, that actually enjoys that kind of beer, would have enjoyed it. Followed up by Ninja versus Unicorn from Pipeworks Brewing in Chicago. This was pretty good.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Bless you. I don't even know what kind of beer it was. What kind of beer was it, Paul?
Double IPA.
Double
It was a double IPA. It was actually better than the Super Sparkle. Surprisingly,
It's better than the other beer I had.
I'd have this again. I'll give it 3 stars. Very bitter flavor, but mellowed out towards the end of it. Very good. Would have it again. 3 stars.
Jammer?
So the Gunner's daughter, what a fine woman she is.
10 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, there's not enough stars to give the beer. It's literally like, you take a coffee after a night out drinking, mix it with Reese's and chocolate milk.
Wow.
I mean, it sounds like I'm
Have
just
you tried
being an
this?
asshole, but it literally, that's what it is. It's just coffee
I don't know if
creamer,
I tried it.
Reese's, chocolate, dark chocolate, beer.
Next
It's
time you go
fucking
down,
great. It's so
will
easy
you
to
buy me
drink.
a 4-pack.
The flavor profile is great. What's the price on one of those? What's a 4-pack?
$12.99.
I'd pay $20.99 for 4. I swear to God, it is that
They're
good.
very, very good.
I don't think you guys had it last week. I don't think I got a chance to
So
try
good.
it.
Well, I mean, oh,
There might be one more in there.
so
Yeah.
the Ninja versus Unicorn though,
You can
I
have the other
wasn't
one.
as
But
impressed.
I would recommend drinking it
Maybe next week.
fresh palate.
the Ninja versus Unicorn. It wasn't bad, but nothing stood out from any other double IPA.
I think it's tough to make that transition.
That too. I mean, my palate's all fucked up, but to me, it just seemed like every other citrus double IPA.
It
There
seems
was
like
citrus in there.
Citrusy.
All right.
it seems like it. I mean, you guys have had it thus far. Is it the what's the name of the beer? The first beer you had?
The Gunner's
Gunner's
daughter.
Daughter.
What
Is
a
that something
fox.
like you'd have more than one of, or
Yeah.
yeah?
Yeah, it was only a 5.5.
It doesn't
It's
sit
heavy,
heavy.
though.
It is a little
It is heavy.
but I could definitely drink a 4-pack.
Well, it's funny we say that like something heavy to us, like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
This would just
No,
battle through
I
it.
mean, in
No,
seriousness,
use me
it
as
is
a
heavy.
benchmark. I'd probably have about 2 of them and be done.
I mean, it's definitely heavier, but the flavor is just like nothing else.
It's thick.
Ooh,
I'm addicted
she's
to
thick, all right.
thick
The Gunner's
shits.
daughter is thick and dark, but not too dark. Right on.
Right
Riddler,
on, right on,
would you-
right on.
What? All right. No, Red Baron. What'd you have?
Yeah, he's still reviewing. I only had one beer tonight, of which I've had 3.
Same beer 3 times.
That's right. From Shiner in Texas. I've had the Shiner Bock as well as many people. It's kind of like their flagship beer, I guess. But this was the Wicked Juicy IPA. Roughly, we'll call it $15 or so, roughly. 5% alcohol. It did not live up to the Wicked Juicy IPA name. A decent beer, very easy drinking beer. I could have a million of them, but much like Souls, I favor.
Some left over.
I'm sorry. Wait, I got to finish this one still.
Rita, may you pass
Oh,
that
here,
over?
pass it over to the mass. Let him try it. It's fine. It doesn't. It's not exciting. Golden amber color, the aroma, citrus floral. I always put down bread for IPA just because. Flavor,
Very light.
citrus. Yeah, it doesn't have that. It's underwhelming. It's an underwhelming beer. It lacked the juiciness. I feel like I've had this beer before, like a million times. Would I get it again? Probably not. I said doubtful. 2 stars. But as far as if this beer was on draft somewhere and it was cheap, I'd probably get it. But it did
You
not.
wouldn't spend the money for it.
No, I probably wouldn't buy a 4-pack of this again. If I randomly saw it on draft somewhere, like, all right, maybe I'll grab that. But sorry, Shiner, not this time.
You failed me.
Not for the Red Baron. I closed the book on you.
Wow.
Riddler, what do you got?
So I had 3 beers tonight, 3 different beers. I had, to lead off, I had the new Thimble Island beer, our friends at Thimble Island, the Lil Tug Session IPA. My notes on that were it was 4.5%, which is standard for a session, low percent, meant for crushability. And it was free. So it's the right price. Straw colored, citrusy, caramel, grainy notes, and it was grainy and citrus tasting, very mellow tasting. It was a little on the blandish side. And the only way I can really describe it would be like if it was like a light IPA.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
like if like a light beer was
Baby's first
yeah.
IPA.
I gave it 2.5. And I said I doubtful I'd get it again. I don't know, like if it was available, I'd get it. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know,
Like
I wouldn't go out of my way.
chance.
Yeah,
Right.
I wouldn't go out of my way to get it. But like if I went to a party and I saw it, like, oh yeah, that wasn't terrible. I'll drink that. I also had the Ninja versus Unicorn, popular show beer on the show today, from Pipeworks out of Chicago. At 8%, golden amber in color, grainy and citrusy with floral notes. It was very citrus forward, mild hoppiness. It was definitely like you could drink like 3 or 4 of them
Mhm.
at 8%, and not go crazy type of thing. I gave it 3.5 stars, and I said that I'd get it again. I'm not really a big IPA guy, but I like Pipeworks and what they do. It wasn't an over-the-top IPA, which is kind of what I look for in an IPA. I don't like those super bitter hoppy ones or the like super citrusy ones because I feel like you just burn your palate out. You can't drink too many of them. And then I finished off with the Alpaca Blanca from Shabine, a New England style IPA. Straw colored. It was bread and grainy, scented, grainy and floral taste. It was bland. It was a standard Shabine beer for me. Most Shabine beers, they get worse the more you drink them. This one got worse the more I drank the one.
Right.
Usually it's like you drink one, you're like, oh, okay. You drink a second one, you're like, all right. And then the third one, you're like, why am I drinking this? This one, I've just kind of got to, why am I drinking this? After the first sip, gave it 2 stars. I said no chance I'd get it again.
I'll tell you what, Pipeworks is pretty underrated. In my
Pipeworks is a
opinion.
very good brewery. And if you can find it, they make a beer. It's a session IPA, which I know is not for everybody. No, Makshin's not a big session guy. But they make a Guppy series. And it's different flavors.
What does that mean?
Session IPA? It's a low percent IPA that's not super hoppy.
Okay.
Guppies are small fish.
Yeah, and that's why they call it the Guppy.
Right.
But they make different flavored ones. They make a blood orange Guppy, grapefruit Guppy, mango Guppy. They different ones. And if you can find them, they're worth getting. They're very good. They're not easy to come by. It's one of Pipeworks' least distributed beers out this way. Pipeworks, the
Pretty
Ninja
localized, right?
the Ninja versus Unicorn's hard to find because it's part of that DIPA craze that everyone's all about, the citrusy high percent IPAs. But all their beer is very good. They make the Lizard King, which is a mosaic hopped pale ale, very good. They make the Blackout, which is a black IPA, very tasty. They make a Pilsner, which is not bad. I know a lot of people don't want to spend craft beer money on a Pilsner because at the end of the day, it's a Pilsner. You can't get too crazy with it. I mean, we've had authentic Pilsner or Quell. It's very good, but I'm not going to go out and spend $14 on a 4-pack.
Yeah.
But if you get it, it's got like a Naked Mermaid Man thing on it. Their can art is amazing. They have amazing can art. They do a great job with it. They hire a local artist from Chicago. But they do. They make very good beer. Them and Finch. If you're looking for some Chicago beer that's different, off the grain, if you're tired of your Goose Islands and Laguintas, I know it's Lagunitas. But like the Pipeworks and the Finch, if you're new into the craft beer scene and you haven't delved deep into it, Finch also makes some good beer. The Hardcore Chimera was a staple actually in our group for a little while. I know J Mart liked it. Red Baron liked it. I love it. It's the yellow can.
That's awesome.
That's an Imperial IPA. I think it's like 8.2 or something like that. But that's a very good IPA. Delicious. They make sours. They make some stouts. It's very hard to find. They cut the distributions down big time, but they made the Moo Thunder, or not Moo Thunder. Sorry, that's not them. That's Farmhouse. What was it called? Secret Stash. Secret Stash was a milk stout, and that was really good.
And just jump back quick to Ninja vs. Unicorn. This was kind of like the Riddler had a small collection back in the Maple days, and it was kind of a feature for me that I had on when we were just recording back in Maple. I had that a couple times.
Well, yeah, when Pipeworks first started coming to Connecticut, the store I was working at the time brought in their entire collection, and the distributor, the distributors, when a new beer comes in especially from out of region, they like to bring in they want to bring in multiple varieties of a beer before they put it into a store, because one brand is not going to do well. And so when it came in, I'm from Chicago, so I was like, okay, let's give this a whirl. I haven't had it. And so I bought a 4-pack of everything. I splurged, and the Lizard King is, I think, my favorite. I'm a big Mosaic guy. I like the Mosaic stuff. It's very mild.
That's a good beer.
Mosaic mean?
It's a type of hop.
Okay.
I've heard those ridiculous like strains of weed and stuff like this is blah blah blah.
Purple haze.
Right, the absurdity.
It's the beer version of pot, really.
Right,
Mosaic, Citra, all kinds of, all that stuff.
And I'm sure there's some authentic reason to it, but it's ridiculous to the
honestly,
outsider.
One of the best beers I've ever had that's not a stout, they don't make anymore, but it's actually from Long Trail Brewery, made the Smash series.
Yeah.
And it was single malt and single hop. They used one malt, one hop to make it. And you can still find Smash style beers. They coined the term Smash, and it was just really good. They made a couple different series. The second one was their best. It was Mosaic, and I forget what the malt was that they used, but it was really good.
That's one of my favorite beers of all time. I would have drank that forever.
Yeah,
that
it was very
incredible.
Good. But yeah, there's tons of good stuff out there. It's the craft beer world, it's getting a little overwhelming. It's becoming very oversaturated. A lot of breweries are putting out a lot of shit that's not continuous. You can't get it all the time. I mean, even in Connecticut, we have it with Two Roads. They put out a lot of beers that are not year-round beers anymore. And
And you know, we try our best to have a lot, and it's if we touch a third of the market, that's a lot.
right, and the problem with craft beer is it gets expensive.
Yeah,
it does. And for the the majority of us have to drive home.
Yeah,
or have jobs in the morning, and can't afford to be drinking a 4-pack of 12% beer.
Please
Why
God,
not?
no.
I mean, I myself, like,
I got to drive home. I got to drive someone home that drank a 2% beer and is going to throw up in my car.
he's on the
Nah,
Facebook chat, and he's calling for more beer.
Is he
Souls
really?
right now.
Is he?
Yeah, he
Tell him
said.
to come finish his own
He
fucking
says,
beer.
"Tell Paul to grab the super
Wait,
duper citrus."
So he's on the Facebook chat. I gotta look at this.
But,
oh boy, yeah, he sure is.
But yeah, I mean, there's lots of beers out there. We want to hear from you guys. If there's whether you live in Connecticut or you don't. There's craft beers in your area if you're living outside of Connecticut and the United States.
But nothing beats a Guinness, baby, except Red Dog.
But like if there's beers out there that you guys really like that are distributed out this way or in the area. I mean, we could drive to Mass in New York to try stuff.
Yeah.
We need to do one of those trips anyway.
There was a craft beer I tried. It was a Fudgy the Well craft beer, and it was fucking delicious.
Mass, this entire summer I was looking for that beer.
I had like 3.
Are you serious?
And then but Virginia, the brewery down in Virginia made the Lucky Charms IPA.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me
Yeah,
about
they made a cereal. They made a milk stout, cereal milk stout with Lucky Charms.
Kendall, I got
milk.
good news for you. They're making it again this year.
All right, well, I gotta have it. I looked.
Well,
I
Kendall's
asked
been on the
everywhere.
quest. Kendall's also been on the quest for the ice cream man.
Well, here's the
I
thing:
know.
they didn't sell it outside the
My
brewery.
bad.
You had to go to the
I
brewery.
know, and
to
that's
get it.
always kind of been my Achilles heel of not going to the facility.
Because even if he's available, he just doesn't want to go.
Road trip.
But yeah, send us recommendations. We'll get shit and put it on the show.
Yeah,
Try it. We'll be honest with you. If we hate it, we hate it. If we like it, we like it.
give it to the
If we-
Mass.
if
Mass will
someone-
hate it every time.
Well, if you send us a recommendation, we'll go out and we'll make sure we'll get it. We'll get enough so that everybody on the show can try it. If we
Right.
get a recommendation,
You know, the thing
obviously.
and for us too, like, we're not professional reviewers, but we've had a
What?
lot of stuff.
Sorry,
like
what?
a lot of
hold on.
stuff.
Most of us have.
Rewind a little bit. What?
Oh,
We're professionals.
We're professionals. So forget what I said. We are professionals, and we've
If
had
the
a
craft
lot
is
of
alcoholism, we're there.
stuff. We've between the group of us, we've probably, no exaggeration, we've had like triple digit beers. Like I'm talking.
Yeah.
We did that in college.
No, I'm not talking about like hey, I had 100.
Well, you got to think about it. Between you, me,
Listen.
and J-Mart, we had last week on the show. We had the beer bracket. Oh, the three of us have had all 68 of those beers.
Yeah.
Guys, ready?
There's no doubt we're in the 3s, 4s, 500s.
A
So,
professional is a member of a profession or any person who earns their living from a specified professional activity.
We earned our living through drinking beer.
That's right.
And
So
the
don't ever
alcohol.
say we're not professionals.
All right, that's good enough.
we may
for
not
me.
be professional sports analysis, but we're definitely professional beer drinkers.
That's
Before
right.
before the plugs, can I give the thing to end the night?
Yeah, sure. I don't know what that means, but
Sure. Home, it's got to be a home now, though, right?
Oh no!
let's celebrate that with an around the horn of some brown liquor.
Bring it over.
Let's even the I'm knocking shit over. Let's even
All
the
right.
score.
Let's even the odds.
No, the
Well, that's
scores.
going down. Possibly the best out of all time for his career in the regular season. Rob Gronkowski averaged 0.69 touchdowns per game.
Hell yeah.
Didn't he also finish with 69 touchdowns?
No, I think he finished with 72.
Did he?
Yeah.
I remember they were all about it when he scored a
Yeah.
69
Yeah, He
touchdown.
finished 79 touchdowns.
79?
Yeah.
No, there's no way.
Including playoffs.
Yeah, it's got to be playoffs. Because he scored a 69 for
I
this year.
that was a big deal.
Yeah, I was like, there's no way he scored 10 touchdowns after that. Some brown liquor.
The Brown.
Social
was
media,
hilarious.
Red Baron. Where can they find us?
You could find us literally everywhere. On Facebook, Getting Sports with Drunk. On Twitter, GSWD_4. Instagram, Getting Sports with Drunk. I'm sorry.
Make sure to use the hashtag GSWD for all your daily uses. Whether it's getting jiggy with the fam
Oh!
or drinking some brown liquor.
Oh!
Scoring 69 touchdowns.
Ooh.
Hold on now.
Oh, no.
It's so funny every time.
iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, iHeartRadio.
Tube steaks.
Literally anywhere you could find.
Let's break it down. Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Insta, Facebook.
Actually, we need to get a
Pornhub
Snapchat.
Premium.
I was about to say, we don't have a Snapchat?
We have a Snapchat. It's
You just haven't found it
yeah,
yet.
but just search us. You can
We're
find us.
literally everywhere. every Monday night
Twitch.
on the PPRN Radio Network. Peter Pino Show. Tuesdays and Wednesdays,
Hi, slut.
7:30, 10:30. We can't give you a time when we start to when we finish because it's different every time.
Make sure to tune in next week, though. From
And don't let
8-ish
your
to
kids
11-ish, we will have Machine Washable back in studio. Hopefully, J Mart will be able to join us
We
again.
miss him.
The Mass
miss him.
hopefully will be here. We got long drives and work schedules to work around for everybody, but hopefully we can get a full house soon. I'd like to get some serious debating going.
Masturbating.
Kyle just had tons of
Masturbate.
private stock
That was
in the
awesome.
Facebook chat. He's not wrong.
But until next week, I'm your hostess, Cupcake the Riddler. Nope.
I'm J-Mart.
The Massacre's Massey.
Well, do that one more time. I do
Until-
from there.
All right, just
Mojito
been a dumpster
Soul.
We'll
fire
see you
forever.
next week. All right.
everyone's a dumpster fire. And remember, don't use extinguishers in a matter other than directed. With that knowledge, I'm your hostess, Cupcake the Riddler. Nope.
I'm J-Mart.
The Massacre's Massey.
And I'm the Red Baron.
Yeah.